we are. Come on. Sick. Okay, so welcome to another 100% garbage review featuring everyone's favorite BigTime and
What's up? What's up?
me, CWheezy. So today we're going to be reviewing Knights of the Frozen Throne. All the cards have been released. And when you review a card set, in my mind, it's better to review all the cards at once so you get the whole picture of the expansion.
Absolutely. And it's important to note that our reviews are not necessarily the same as most people's reviews. We're really coming at it more from a game design perspective than a player perspective, where we're not so much interested in how good is this card to put in your tournament deck. I mean, that's a factor, and we can mention that on cards when they're way on the extreme of either way too weak or way too strong. But more, we're talking about, is this card interesting? Does this existing add to the game's experience that it gives the players? Or is it kind of uninspired and bland and generic?
Mm-hmm. Part of the really exciting cards you've probably noticed from past Hearthstone expansions, is that they are fun to play and they are powerful. So it's almost goes hand in hand. The interesting cards are also powerful.
Right. What I would say is um, you don't want any card for any reason, regardless of what its design or its purpose is, to be either so weak that you couldn't reasonably put it in your deck, or so strong that you would be unreasonable not to
Mm-hmm.
put it in your deck. But within the confines of some decks could play this, or it could be good against specific types of decks, or what have you. As long as you could reasonably put it in your deck without being an idiot, then that's just really the only standard we care about with this review.
Also,
And sorry, but one note on that: we are going to see a lot of cards that fail on the low end.
oh boy.
In this case, more than I'm shocked at how many we're gonna see that go to the low end.
Also, we both play a lot of Arena, which is the fair and fun mode, so we'll probably do comments on that.
Oh
Uh,
sure.
so, starting off, we got Druid first, and the Crypt Lord.
All right, so we're starting off already with I mean, what could only possibly be described as a anti-aggro card,
Mm-hmm.
um, because certainly this has no purpose against anything that's remotely slow. It's kind of like a uh, a tar creeper that doesn't ever
Get better.
do anything. Um, really, like, okay, I didn't want to start off really negatively, but I have no choice. I'm being cornered. I'm being handcuffed. I'm being brought into the negativity cop car because this is just not okay.
No.
Um, so first off, reverse power creep. I guess we're gonna have to get into a lot of concepts in this review.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one we're gonna touch on is reverse power creep. Now, reverse power creep is basically defined as you've made cards in the past that you thought were too good. So when you make a new set, you want to reduce the overall power level, but maybe keep similar designs because you thought the design was cool, just the power level was wrong. There's a couple problems with negative power creep in collectible card games. The first one, obviously, being that if you collected a more powerful version of something, then you are not going to be compelled to then collect a less powerful version of it, almost for any reason. Even if you're a tournament player, you're probably not happy about that. And in this case, it's reverse power creep on a card that I don't think has ever proven to be too good. So I'm confused why they reverse power creeped it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the point of was it. Like, it's not even a beast. Like, a lot of druids are sort of
Right.
have like vague
So
beast energy.
what I will say is hopefully there are other cards that provide us context as to why this card exists. Because on its surface, this card is straight in the trash bin.
Yeah, I don't know. Aggro doesn't want to play it, and even like a slow deck probably wouldn't want to play it because it just gets crushed by whatever value card they have. So
Right.
we'll move on.
Moving on.
We have Nash. I view this as a worse Frostbolt.
Oh, see, well, I thought they were being very clever because it's Bash, but it's worse and it's good. So I actually give them points for that. I like stupid, silly jokes. So
That's fair.
So I mean, very literally, this is a worse Bash.
Yeah.
Incredibly similar. The problem with this card compared to Bash, from a player's perspective, is that first off, taunts hose it, and secondly, that 3 armor you gain is probably not going to be gained once you actually connect to your target.
Yeah.
From a design perspective, they have Claw and they have Bite, so this is literally that at the 3 slot.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it's certainly not interesting, but it's not really a problem that it exists because, just adding more of the same design along a gradation, allowing people to, maybe Claw doesn't quite kill what they want to kill, but maybe Bite's overkill, so the player wants something a little less expensive. Certainly not an exciting card in any way, but it's fine.
My problem with the Claw and Bite stuff scaling is that now they can't make a 2-cost card because Claw scales as you want it to, but Bite doesn't. Bite's
right.
terrible.
Well, I think they could. So now we're actually going to get into the opposite of reverse power creep, which is power creep.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this card is not good.
No.
Not abominably bad where I need to berate it, but it's certainly not good. So I think in the future, probably not in an immediate expansion, but I think eventually we could see this exact card text at 2 cost, and it would be fine.
That'd be sweet. All right, moving on to Webweave. Famously, a designer said before we start that when it costed 4, it was way too powerful.
Okay, so I've actually not seen this one yet, so this is a first impression for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a 5 mana that summons 2 Death Touch guys. They don't have taunt, right?
Nope.
So they're not like the those little.
No, if it was the gastropods,
gastropods.
Right. No.
So this card, I'll give them points for originality. This is not like any card they've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, it's kind of interesting in that it's a lot slower and riskier than a typical 5 mana removal spell. Typically, for 5 mana in this game, you get kill a minion with either no downside or very minor upside, right around this range. So this is not no downside, but it also potentially has the upside of killing 2 things. Ooh.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fact that they don't have any means of defending themselves and therefore could be picked off either by an AoE spell or by minions that you don't really care about killing compared to ones that you much more would rather kill, means that the downsides probably heavily outweigh the upsides.
Yeah.
I don't expect this card to perform very well, but I think it's actually pretty cool. And I actually believe them on the mana cost. At least for Arena, I would not want to play against this if it goes for.
Yeah, in Arena it would be the Arena Smasher, but for Constructed, I feel like
it would have to be for it to be.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Just a common theme. We're not going to always repeat it, but typically, a card, unless a card is super insanely bonkers in Arena, then this rule might not apply. But in general, cards that are good in Arena are probably 1 mana too expensive for Constructed.
Yeah. In Arena, that'll be funny. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah. You'll totally play this in Arena, and also because AOE spells and removal is less likely, so you're more likely to actually hit with real targets.
All right. Next, we have the 2 mana transform card that druids often get in each expansion, and I think this one's pretty awesome.
Wow. So you get a 1/2 poisonous or a 1/5 taunt. So the 1/2 poison, it's interesting. I've noticed this with a lot of their choose one designs, where 1/2 is actually overstated for the mana cost, and the other one is understated.
Yeah.
Meaning that you really, really need the utility from the understated side to pull weight, because otherwise you'll only play it for the overstated side because it was overstated. So there's never been a 1/5 with taunt for 2. Granted, that might actually just be the proper stats in some very theoretical sense of like that's how good it needs to be playable.
Mhm.
Like maybe every 1-4 and worse they've made is just not playable at all.
Yep.
But it's certainly is jumping what we've had in the game, whereas a 1-2 poisonous is definitely underdoing it because we have 1-2 poisonous with taunt that sees basically no play.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a bit of an interesting way of doing it. In my mind, when you make a choose card, it's fine if they're both slightly under the curve in general because the power of utility should make up for the absolute power of the effect you're getting.
Right.
Because getting to flex or bend whichever way you need is really strong. And obviously here the obvious idea is you taunt up against the face aggro decks, and then you go with the poisonous against the slower decks to try to get a good value trade. So that's a powerful concept. How good it'll actually be, I have no idea.
I think in Arena, this card you'll pick every time, and it'll be really hard to deal with if you get a lot of them.
Well, I mean, this card is pure upside in terms of Arena because it actually trades with any other 2-drop ever, and uninterrupted. Obviously, it would be over 2 turns, but it trades with any 2-drop ever, and then only can get better from there. So
yeah, it's sweet. I'm excited to see if it can make constructed, but I just don't think so.
I think if it does make constructed, it's only gonna be because 1/5 taunt is very necessary to live.
Yeah. Next 2 ones are the token. Now we have the Strong Shell Scavenger. I actually haven't seen this one yet.
Oh, I guess they bailed out on Taunt Warrior and they're on Taunt Druid now.
Yeah. So Druid has a bunch of taunt synergy cards this expansion, and I think they're all pretty underwhelming. See,
So
this guy also doesn't have taunt. I think that's a fail. He should have taunt, and it should say give your other taunt minions to too. Right?
Sure. So there's a few things about this card, and we're going to get into more general design concepts here. So one is that any new card you make, and this is why I think Magic the Gathering struggles so immensely to make new and interesting and appropriately power-leveled cards now, is because there's so many cards in the past that it's hard to just not reprint them all because they've already done the right things at some point. So how do you do the right thing again differently where you're still selling things? It's very difficult. And I think this card, they obviously didn't follow that sort of lens of thinking because if you compare this to Defender of Argus, it is a complete travesty.
Oh, yeah.
This card is unbelievably worse in 98%.
I'd say 99.9. We're going all the way.
Yeah, I mean, in almost every situation, this card's way worse. And yeah, obviously, there's some combos like with that pretty weak 1/6. Oh man, look at this, curve into this. However, this is another concept. This is more of a player thing, not a design thing. But never use a bad card to justify putting another bad card in your deck.
Yeah.
That's just a recipe for losing. Unless the synergies are so like hyper abundant that everything you do just wombo combos with everything else, then bad cards plus bad cards does not make winning games.
Yeah, and I was gonna mention if you wanted to see that concept, you could look at slivers, but a lot of the good slivers are just really good on their own. So
right.
So that's just it's true there too.
Yeah, see, now that's actually a good point. So for those of you familiar with MTG, slivers is basically the biggest tribe in Magic's history, or one of them, at least. And they all cross buff each other. So one card will say all of your slivers gain haste, and the other one will say they all gain +1/+1, etc., etc. Some of those cards are just good, period, and would be good in any deck, or would be good in a lot of decks. Those can help make a iffy to bad card good, because if a bad card combos well with a good card, then you could play that combo because you're at least starting with a solid card. When it's a bad card that combos with a bad card, then you have very little foundation where if things don't line up perfectly, you're just going to lose for sure.
And that's just You can't really do it, especially because Hearthstone is so tight in terms of card and how long the games are. If you if your game is based off bad card synergy and you miss a turn, that's it.
Think of it this way. So on its surface, we can look at this and go, what happens when you go 1/5 taunt for 2 into 1/6 taunt for 3, and then you play this card, right? Wow. Look at that. You're owning them, right? And that will happen, maybe 5 to 8% of games. And then in the other ones where you either drew this strong shell scavenger at the wrong time or drew it but not the taunts before it, then you lost the whole game. Like, literally, that's not an exaggeration. You actually lost the whole game. So is it worth it? Almost absolutely not, unless we see like a crazy more amount of synergy.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Now we have Spreading Plague.
So, it's funny. When we last talked about the Magic set, we had all sorts of massive flavor issues.
Yeah.
However, Hearthstone, I feel in general, has very few.
Mm-hmm.
This one being one of the few, I don't get it at all on a flavor perspective. I don't understand.
Yeah, it should be like,
Why don't they have poisonous?
why? Yeah, why don't they have poisonous? Why is it not Spreading Plague as like a disease on the enemy minions? Or something like disease a minion, and then if they has more, disease the other one, or something.
Yeah, it's
right?
just
or something.
First off, this is very much a warlock looking card. Like,
Yeah.
if you show me that art, I literally would probably bet my life that that is a warlock card.
Yeah.
Like, I would actually just bet my whole life savings that that's a warlock card.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm almost convinced that it was warlock art and they recycled it or something.
Yeah.
They didn't have a design for it, but they like the art.
Mm-hmm.
Because this just isn't there's just nothing druid about this. So already the art in the name, nothing druid about it at all. And then the text doesn't fit any of that other theme, and also is incredibly weak.
Yeah. Holy moly.
So we were talking about a 1/5 with taunt for 2 that had upside of being able to flex.
And that
This is more than double the cost, and also requires a certain situation, and is a one power guy. The longer the game goes on, the less and less relevant that becomes quickly.
Yeah, on turn 5, it's way worse than turn 2.
Right.
So
Yeah. So
much
this
worse.
card it's all the other cards maybe they've been a hit or a miss, but this card is our first straight complete F on every aspect of it. It's awful,
Yeah,
and whoever designed it should feel bad.
I agree. Okay, now we have you know, the Fate Spinner. I give them props for trying. I wish there was more of stuff like this, but
Yeah, so let's
Yeah.
just start with that. Choose the death rattle secretly is the best card text, like the best beginning of a card effect on any card they've ever made in this game.
yeah, it's incredible. Like when I first read it, I was so excited. I was like,
So
this is
already,
what I wanted.
whoever came up with that, they need to make more of the decisions in the future, because even though this card, as we're about to talk about, miserably fails on the concept, it's a great concept, and they need to move in this direction. Absolutely, because there's randomness done wrong, which is, Firelands Portal, getting you Leroy Jenkins or whatever,
Yeah,
and then there's randomness done right, which is concepts like this, where it's hidden information. In this case, part of why this card fails is that it's going to be so painfully obvious all the time which mode you picked that it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, this card, I think, plays differently in 0% of situations if it didn't say secretly.
yeah,
So that's a problem. The only time I can see it playing differently is if it's literally an empty board in arena. Like, let's say you traded off your 4 drops. Now it's your turn to play a 5, and you play this. That might be the only time where it's unclear.
yeah.
But that's like literally it.
Yeah,
In
it's really
99%
sad.
of situations, you're going to exactly know. Either you're winning on the board and you're going to give +2/+2, or
No.
you're gonna deal 3 damage to all.
Yeah, like
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Just in terms of the power of these effects, giving all minions +2/+2 is like really awful,
yeah,
and really scary and really risky, and especially on a death rattle. It would be kind of bad on a battle cry. On a death rattle, it's really weak. And deal 3 to all minions is like insanely awesome. So
yeah. You're gonna see the
so,
deal 3 like
yeah.
every single time. I think
So
it might be powerful enough to make it in like a slower druid deck, just because druid has weak board clears and deal 3 to all is pretty nice, but
so
the design part is really sad.
yeah, they missed a huge opportunity on the design part, but I'm not sure if it's good enough in constructed, because you got to remember, due to this not being a spell, it costs 6 mana to
Yeah.
deal 3 to all minions, because they're not going to attack it.
No.
You have to attack it in.
Hmm.
So as a 6 mana deal 3, that's like 2 turns slower than Hellfire. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. That could also be silenced, which would be a terrible.
Oh god. Yeah, yeah. It's reasonably close, I think.
It is reasonably close. And in arena, I'm gonna pick this very highly, especially.
Oh yeah, it'll
it's
be
one of the
crazy in
weaker
arena.
slots.
It'll be a smasher. Every time you see it, you'll cry.
Yeah, and it just has the random upside of, if you're owning them, you also just get this other stupid effect.
Yeah. All right, now we move on
Okay.
to
The ultimate card.
the ultimate card. It's pretty nasty.
So 10 mana cards is definitely an interesting design space, because one concept that whenever you're designing really expensive cards that you have to deal with is you have to be able to justify putting this in your deck when you know for a fact, no matter how well you mulligan, some percentage of your games, this is going to be in your opening hand. So you're literally playing down a card for 9 turns. I mean, Druid maybe less than 9, but you're down a card for a while in some percentage of games. So as you get higher on the mana curve, you have to make the power much greater than like the jump from 2 to 3. You can kind of just make it a very additive, like +1 stats kind of transition. But the difference between 7 and 10 is not like +3 stats. It's like +20 stats.
Yeah, because it's also the difference between playing 2 cards as well.
Sure.
So this has to be better than playing 2 cards on that
Right.
turn.
Right, that's also very true. So yeah, 10 mana cards come with a lot of downside, basically. Long story short. So how does this one do? One thing that's unfortunate is that you probably don't ever want to play 2 of these in your deck, because by the time you can play the first one, you're already going to be at least like 14-ish cards in on average, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then if you ever played a second one, you're almost decked.
Yeah.
So you're probably only playing 1, which it doesn't. That's not necessarily a slight against the card's design or anything, but it's unfortunate in that you kind of have to build around playing a 10 mana card, and then you don't even want 2 copies of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's almost a downside that it draws 5 cards. Like if it drew 3, that would probably actually be sufficient and maybe even better.
It does seem funny that the drawing 5 cards, normally that'd just be, put it in, but
if there's ever a time you don't
Yeah.
want to draw 5 cards, it's on a 10 mana card.
yeah.
I mean, granted, again, obviously that makes this card way more powerful if you only play 1 in your deck.
Mhm.
And I certainly think in any slower Druid deck, you're definitely playing 1.
It's awesome.
I just don't think it's realistic to ever play 2, which actually, it's fine. I have no problem with that. And overall, yeah, it's sad that you got all the crazy 5s going on. You got to cost 10. It's much more funny if all the numbers line up, including the cost. But yeah,
Make it cost 20.
yeah, right. Then it's right. There you go.
I think in arena, this is the only time you'll play 2 is in arena. I think I just play 2 in arena because they're not going to burn me out.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
arena is different because
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to trade resources. Like basically, in arena, you're much more likely to snowball the game one way or the other because it's all about board control in arena.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of reset buttons, so as long as you can literally survive till turn 10, you will inevitably snowball the game in your favor once you play this, and they probably will never be able to come back because you have more cards in them.
Yes, that's cool. Okay, so it's, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Okay, let's and now the legendary Death Knight. Each class has a is their own flavor of Death Knight, and we have Malfurion the Pestilent. Um, so apparently druids in the Frozen Throne, they only can summon two monsters. They can summon 1/5 taunt scarabs, or they can summon 1/2 poisonous spiders. And when
Wow.
all the druids from Northrend, that's their limit. So
So one thing, or a couple things about the flavor of this is I don't get it really. Like, so this game is based on Warcraft, not just WoW. But let's be honest, it's only been WoW for over a decade now, so the only WoW matters anymore. Sadly, like
yeah,
the old lore, literally just delete it, throw it out.
yep,
And in WoW, Death Knights are a class; they're not a modification of other classes.
no,
So it's just weird that there's a Druid Death Knight and a Mage Death Knight and a Paladin Death Knight when that is not how it works in the game that people will know these characters and concepts from.
mm,
So that's kind of a problem to me, and I don't. If this was just, hey, this is the expansion where we're launching Death Knight, that would have been much more exciting and made more sense to me.
mm. The effect I think is for a 7 cost card. Like, compare this to Flame Strike or Doctor Boom
So one
or
thing we have to also consider is when you play this, you get the immediate effect, and then you get the new hero power. So
yeah,
if we look down, the new hero power is you either get 3 attack or 3 armor. Um, so right off the bat, um, if you're ever choosing the 3 armor, then think about how much incredibly worse this is than Justicar Trueheart was in Warrior.
yeah,
Like monumentally worse because it's more expensive. Um, Probably these 2 small creatures is worse than a 6/3.
yep,
And the hero power is 33% worse every turn. Granted, it has flexibility, so maybe that's fine. But basically, the improved hero power you're getting isn't great here. Um, you're probably going to have to dance between using the 2 because getting +3 attack is a lot, but
yeah,
it's going to cost you life. So you're going to have to recoup that life in a lot of cases. Even against other control decks, the way control wins games nowadays is actually with a lot of burst damage.
mm-hmm.
Think about a mage. You really don't want to, use +3 attack all day to kill all their minions, and then put yourself at 12 life. You just don't want to do that.
Yeah, and then it's also sort of a fail. The Plague Lord gives no plague.
Right? Yeah,
He's
it
just
doesn't really.
he's just a super
Yep.
face lord.
Yep. It's yeah. Actually, has nothing to do with the flavor. It's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Why doesn't he just? Why when you play it do you not just get a few scarabs and then you summon the 1/2 poisonous spiders as your power?
I
Why
don't
not?
know.
Why not? Um, that would be cool, but whatever. Overall, I think this card is not good. I really don't like this whole concept to begin with, like
Mhm.
of these corrupted classes. Um, so I'm probably going to frame most of them in a negative light just for that, because I don't like the high concept.
The
Um,
I get the high concept. They explained it that these are all what if Malfurion had taken the same path as Arthas. That's why. So
okay,
I
okay.
sort of
So
I don't mind it.
well, here's the thing: is there's a very infamous set in Magic: The Gathering called Planar Chaos, where they did what if all the colors did different things than what they actually do.
Mm.
So you had the black disenchant and the white hasty sacrifice creature and the green ball lightning and whatever, right? Turns out that once you make it, it's real.
Yeah.
It's actually no longer what if because you made it.
Yeah.
It's actually not how it works.
Yeah.
So it's kind of why like what if endings in movies are like always really stupid and really like please end this now because it's actually in your movie.
Yeah, it's no longer.
It's not actually what if anymore. So I super don't buy the what if thing at all.
Mm. And now we have the final legendary Hadronox. Um,
So um Well, okay, so there's just a lot of things to say that are pretty much all negative about this card.
Oh man.
Um, I I kind of don't know where to begin because there's just so many things about this card that I don't like. First off, again, it kind of falls into the category of we just saw a bunch of weak cards. So were these weak cards made because they didn't want it to be really good with Hadronox? If so, then why the hell did they make Hadronox? Um, like which one of these influenced the other, right? Because all of these cards individually are not good at all.
No, they're terrible.
And this, so obviously the idea was if you put them all together, we don't want it to be too good.
Mm-hmm.
That just means that you need to do subtractive design and maybe not print all of these cards, so that way they can be individually good. Because this is not good. And also, let's point out that I would argue. I mean, I guess you can make an argument for a couple other ones, but to me, when I think of Taunt and Druid, the number 1 and 2 cards I think of are Druid of the Claw and Ancient of War. I don't know if this resurrects Druid of the Claw. It might, because it actually turned into that card, but it definitely does not resurrect Ancient of War, and
No.
that's really sad to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, like the iconic taunts. It will res the 4/6 because that's what died.
Right. Okay.
But it will not res the other iconic druid taunt minion. And it's
So
just
that's sad.
like it also doesn't have taunt.
Right.
Maybe that'd be bad if it resummoned itself like a flavor fail, but I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, that's the other thing about it, because I think it's okay and actually can be clever if you play off previously established flavor. And maybe this guy is a raid boss or a dungeon boss from one of the more recent expansions. I don't know, but why does this guy summon taunts? It looks like he would put your opponent in a cocoon.
Or maybe he's green, looks super poisonous, right?
Right, yeah,
Like,
it could have poisonous, yeah.
why doesn't like give all your minions poisonous?
Yeah, or
Like,
yeah, like I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It doesn't, we don't get it on any level, and it is the obligation of the game designers to make the audience understand their card design, not the other way around. So if you're thinking, oh well, you don't know what this is from, that's your fault. Well, actually, no, because it should still make sense with what's on the card, and it makes no sense.
And lastly, this card is just the worst. If you open this in your first 10 packs, this is your guaranteed legendary. You're gonna just, I don't know,
Guaranteed sadness.
Yeah, guaranteed sadness. It's so bad, it's offensive. Actually, it hurts me. The only thing,
But it's not. It's like middle tier of legendaries.
all right,
we're gonna get
on.
to some real winners.
Yeah, we're going on to the hunter. That's who's next.
Okay, this might be my favorite art that we've seen so far.
I think it's beautiful. They knocked the art out of the park. And Death Rattle Hunter has been sort of the mid-range Death Rattle has been a bit of a thing for a little while, and I like it. You know, it's not Feign Death power, which is sad. But
I actually think it's about as good as Feign Death.
Yeah.
Because the difference between 1 and 2 mana is incredible.
Mhm.
So much like how I was talking about the concept of a 7 mana card versus a 10 mana card, a 10 mana card has to do way, way, way more.
Yeah.
The same is true in the inverse of 1 to like 3.
Mhm.
A 1 mana card can do dramatically less than a 3 mana card or even a 2 mana card and be as good or better.
Mhm.
Because 1 mana is so much less. It's why they had to delete all the good 0 mana cards like Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
They had to get rid of it because it did a reasonable effect for nothing, meaning it's actually the best card in your deck. If you could do something good or even just pretty good for no cost, I mean, obviously playing a card's a cost, but I mean no cost in terms of mana, then it's actually just outrageously good.
Yeah, I
So-
like it. I think it's gonna be if Death Rattle mid-range Hunter is a thing, you'll see this card.
I think you can see this card if you only play 4 to 6 Death Rattles in your deck. I think this
Yeah.
card is well designed,
Mhm.
good art. I have zero bad things to say about this card.
It's great. I love it. I think that's actually Arfus, who's a legendary. Next
Mm.
up, we have the Bear Shark.
What is this?
I don't know.
Like, the thing is, like, shark doesn't even scream hunter to me. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the art or the name.
No. Um,
Um, as far as the effect goes, it would be way more powerful if it was a 3/4 rather than a 4/3.
yeah.
Um, this card will definitely give decks that rely on spells as their early defense all sorts of fits. Like I can imagine a mage being very scared of this in constructed, but I also don't think it's anywhere near good enough to put in your deck. So actually, no one's going to be scared of it.
Yeah.
I think this is like throwaway design. And one rule that we have here at 100% Garbage Reviews is if they didn't put time into making it, we're not going to put time into reviewing it. So moving on.
Yep. Next up, we got the Stitch Tracker. Discover is always really powerful, and it's a minion in your deck. I think it's pretty good. I like
So
Discover.
one thing about these understated value creatures is that they are, first off, incredibly good in Arena always.
Yep.
But in constructed, we find that they only fit into a very specific type of deck because they are so low on tempo. Tempo meaning the immediate effect you're getting for the mana cost. So here, the immediate effect you're getting is basically the effect of a 1 mana card, is the immediate effect you get. So that doesn't mean it's bad in an objective sense, but it does mean that it does not play with the way Hunter wants to play, meaning unless they put in enough support to completely reinvent the way Hunter at least can play, then you will never see this card used.
Yeah. It is an arena monster, though, I think.
Yep.
It'll be crazy there.
Very good in Arena.
Alright, we'll see. Now we have the Venom Strike Trap.
Yeah. So, first off, I find it really, really, really lame that this card's very similar to Snake Trap. The fact that the clause is the same is really sad to me because part of what makes secrets funny to me is that if you make a viable secret where if you do A, then one secret might trigger, but if you do the exact opposite of A, then a different secret might trigger. For example, I am begging for them to put a mage secret in the game that says if your opponent either didn't play a minion or if they didn't play a minion of a certain size, then you get the effect. Because right now they have all these cards that make you want to play your crappiest thing or no thing, but they have nothing on the opposite. So this card is kind of falling into the same problem of this is already this already is the same clause that people will use to check for freezing trap and check for snake trap. So the fact that it's just a different effect is already way less interesting in the secret space.
Yeah.
And then also the effect isn't even cool. I mean,
No.
it's like whatever. This card just really lame.
What I would have
don't
liked
care
if
for
it was like sort of like Misdirect, where
they have to attack the cobra. If it was
Yeah.
get down with a venomous cobra,
yeah,
that would be way more interesting. I agree.
maybe like a 1/1 Cobra or something. I don't know. 'Cause
Well, no,
yeah,
you still want it to be 2/3 because then it would actually serve the function of baiting for snake trap, right?
Oh yeah.
Because
Exactly.
then, or freezing trap more specifically, right?
Mhm.
Because they want to attack their 1/1 into your guy to see if it's freezing, but oops, actually, the venom strikes out.
Yeah. See, that would be a lot more fun.
Yep.
Oh, well.
So that's just what it should be. So congratulations on designing a better card than people who are paid a lot of money.
A lot of money. All right, thank you. Okay, now we have the Exploding Bloat Bat. This is I hadn't seen this yet.
I'm not either.
4 mana 2/1, deal 2 to all.
Uh,
And enemy minions.
It seems really bad in constructed
Yeah.
and really good in arena.
Yeah. Oh boy, this guy is going to be a pain in the ass in arena.
Yeah. I don't really have much on the. I like the flavor of its like the corrupted fiery bat,
Yep.
and the art I think is really well suited to reflect that.
Hmm.
Um, I I do wish that a few more of these cards were in the realm of constructed and not just, arena cards. But at the same time, if this card was somehow good and constructed, it would probably just ruin arena. So, like, I'm imagining if this was a 3/3, which is probably what it would need to be for constructed,
Or deal 3 to enemy minions like Hellfire.
right? Then it would just be just silliness in arena.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm overall it's lame.
All right, then we got the Corpse Widow. Death Rattle cards cost 2 less.
Um, this is interesting because normally when you think of Lord effects, you think of weak kind of creatures that are cheap, that provide you a big benefit either with the stats of other minions or with making them cheaper or with giving them some other buff like haste or charge in this game. But this one, they said, what if we gave it real stats, made it more expensive? So then the effect, the card text is actually more of a marginal upside rather than the focal point of the card. It's basically de-emphasizing it. Like the main point of this card is to be a 4/6. It is not to make your death rattles cost less. Which I actually think is good design. I mean, it would be boring and homogenous if all cards were designed like this. Where if all of them were mostly about their stats and not their effects. But I like that some of them are. So yeah, I like this card design.
Yeah, I think it's good. If Death Rattle Hunter's a thing, you'll probably see them. It
might why not?
Yeah. It's just hard because it just doesn't do anything when you play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 4/6 though.
Yeah, that's so okay. All right, moving on. The Toxic Arrow. I have no idea what to think. What the fuck is happening with this?
I think this is one of the best design cards in the set.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because the power is insane or anything. Probably won't see constructed play.
No, there's no way it can.
Well, I give it more than no way. For example, if you Toxic Arrow your Infested Wolf, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is it's a split card, right? That much like the once again, like the Druid split card, where one mode was way better than the other one. That's kind of the same thing here, which again is kind of weird design to me. Normally, I think it's better if both modes are roughly even. And then it's really, not so much that you're going to see it 95% of the time in one way. But here, the real mode here is just deal 2 damage to a minion.
Right.
As like an anti-aggro-ish kind of card. And the reason why you'd play it over Arcane Shot, which is more efficient, is because you have the upside of it doing something against a slower deck, whereas Arcane Shot is pretty pathetic against a slow deck. However, here I think they missed on the upside of when you don't want 2 damage to a minion, because I think the setup is too high to actually be good. But I still think it's very interesting design. If this card costs 1, like basically I think they might have missed on the power level, but I really like what they tried.
Yeah,
which I mean is still unacceptable. I mean again, you're professionals.
Yeah.
So please don't be bad at getting it. But there was a good idea in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Arcane Shot is not good enough. So if this is just a better Arcane Shot, that's fine. It wouldn't be better because it can't hit face, but whatever.
Right, it wouldn't be strictly better. And for Hunter, that's about as relevant as it is with any class, actually.
Yep. All right, now we got the Abominable Bowman.
All right, so already A+.
Yeah. He's great.
Then we have... So this is randomness that I don't mind so much. And granted, actually, I'm kind of a defender of Hearthstone's randomness in general, but here... Part of the problem with like Ram Wrangler was one that nobody liked. Just zero people ever, because sometimes you get
King Crush.
well, right. I was thinking you get young Windhawk.
Yeah.
And Young Dragon Hawk, and you're like, well, this game sucks. Um, but then yeah, sometimes you get King Crush, and yeah, I mean, just LOL. What are you gonna do?
You think this game
So
sucks too?
this you have to earn your high end reward because you're obviously going to play low costing beasts most likely because I mean you need a good amount of beasts to make this worthwhile. I mean you're not going to only play Savannah high mains. Even if you did, you could still get the hyenas off them. So even that would be good. So basically here, even though it's a random effect, which might be annoying to some people, it's not really random because number one, both players know what the potential outcomes are, and two, you have to put those cards in your deck and then play them. So there's a lot of setup here, and it's not, even though it says random on it, it's not actually random. So I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's also very expensive.
Oh yeah, and
Cost
very
7.
slow because
Yeah.
it's Death Rattle.
So I don't think it'll make it into constructed play, but
Oh no way, no way. Not unless there's some other crazy beast cards here we haven't seen yet.
all right. Now here we come up to the Hunter Legendary, and your comment on secrets actually comes up here.
Yeah. So this guy, um, I really like that it puts random secrets into play because it's going to give your opponent more to think about.
Mm-hmm.
However, part of the fun of secrets is the back and forth mind game. Here, it's more of just solving a puzzle of, okay, how do I play optimally for the least bad outcome? Because you kind of know what secret your opponent actually played most of the time because there's just not a lot of good ones, which is really a sad thing about secrets is that they kind of have to all be good in order for it to really be a secret.
Yeah.
But then because it's random to them and they didn't choose the secondary one, there's no mind game there. It's just a matter of solving it. So I think it's going to be kind of fun to play against this card, but I don't see why this card couldn't have been when you play a secret, discover a secret and put it into play.
Yeah.
Because then it would have that back and forth mind game that actually makes it fun for both people.
Right.
And that wouldn't make the card too good.
No.
Like whatever.
'Cause
So
you're gonna play around the secret like the same way.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think this card misses on what could have been a really again the base idea here was cool, but the execution's not good, and also the fact that there's just not a lot of secrets that make this great. It also hurts the card a lot.
I think another thing is that this card doesn't need to be random. Lots of Hearthstone cards need to be random, like Mad Bomber, right?
Right.
This card does not have to be. It's not like 100,000 times better if it's not random. Like
right.
You can still get. It gives more power to your player, and there's still a bit of randomness, so it's different every time. But it gives like it lets the player think about the game, and like try to predict their opponent a bit more. I think.
Right. Yeah, I think. And also, this card's power level is not high, so making it better would actually be a benefit.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be risky, maybe is a better way to put that.
Yeah, it would not be risky. Okay, so now we're on the Hunter, Death Knight, the Death Stalker. Do you happen to know what armor he's wearing?
No, but what I do know is this what if they were all Arthas, why don't they all have Frostmourne? Hello? Flavor Police?
Yeah, wee Here we're coming. Where's the Frostmourne bow?
Right.
Frost bow.
See, I mean, that's the only reason Arthas went down the path, because Frostmourne, like, corrupted him, so...
That's true.
What happened here? Was it Bowmorn or Frostbow, or...
Why not? Bowmorn.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
so we can't actually comment on this card because we don't know what the hell it does. So, literally, moving on. I mean, we don't know what it does, because obviously this really hinges on the Build-A-Beast, and we don't know what that does.
So it's... Build-A-Beast is... Okay, so this is what I think I'm pretty sure it does. It... Out of 5 mana or less beasts you've played, put all their parts together and then put it in your hand.
I don't know what that means.
So, like, if you play like a Crackling Razor Maw and a River Crocalist, you get a 5/5 for for 4 adapt to friendly beast.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah. So that's how this works, and it has to be 5 or less. So you can't get a Savannah High main. Or I think
But it's just all of them. So if I just play 5/1 drops, then I'll just make like a 10/5 every turn or whatever.
no, you pick 2.
Oh, you pick. Okay, so you literally are smashing 2 cards together.
Yeah, and then put it in your hand.
Okay. Um. Well, that's cool. I don't know
Yeah,
how good it is.
I think it's not good because like I compared it to Warlock's hero power, where you draw a card and you'll most likely be able to play that card, but with this one, like there's a good chance you wouldn't be able to play it, depending on what you played. Like
Well, the other problem with that is, so you're playing cheap beasts in your deck, so you don't actually want 6 mana to deal 2 to enemy minions. That's
no,
not an effect you want. And then you also don't like. Okay, yeah, Zoo Warlock is a early board control pressure deck that appreciates being able to draw cards,
mm-hmm.
but that's because they have hyper efficient cards that require them to discard cards.
Right.
Um, since that's not something Hunter does, an aggro deck wouldn't even really want this hero power. Like, I literally think in an aggro deck, this hero power, even if there was no setup, is
Yeah.
probably worse than Steady Shot.
Oh yeah.
So who's playing this card? A control deck? It needs to play cheap beasts to make
Yeah.
it. That's
And
weird.
this is another thing that you mentioned before. You can't build around one card like this. Like if you're building a control hunter deck, you can't build around this card because you have like a 1 in 30 chance of drawing it all the time, right?
Right. I mean, well,
Yeah.
obviously in the mulligan you have a better chance, but
Yeah.
like
I know it's higher than
basically a different way to put that point is, what about the games where it's in your bottom 5 cards of your deck? You just lose, or
that. Yeah, like what's your plan? So it's
because yeah, just lose some percentage of games is not a good plan.
no. I usually that's still part of my plan, but
So I'll give them a little credit because it's weird and I like weird, but they really, I think, missed the mark on the playability.
another one gonna be sad when you
Okay.
open it. Okay, now we're on to mage.
Yeah.
Now we got the flame cannon that freezes.
So flame cannon, I would say, ranged from not random to bad randomness, where sometimes it could either hit their 2/3 or it could hit their 4/4.
Yep.
And that's not good randomness at all. That's because it's not interesting. There's not anything anyone could have done differently, and it really has a huge impact on the outcome of the game in a way that's. Here's the thing: you might say, "Well, is that any more random than the card you draw each turn?" Maybe not, but we've all, accepted that we don't know how to make the game happen without drawing a card each turn.
Right.
We certainly do know how to make the game happen without my removal spells randomly targeting things.
Yep.
So it's not, even though it might be right that it's no more random than some other random elements in these games, doesn't mean that more of it is welcome, and it doesn't mean it's going to feel the same.
No.
So again, the fact that this is 1 mana means it's probably never random. You probably just hit their one guy most of the time.
Yeah.
It's probably how this is going to play out.
Yep.
And it's pretty strong at that.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I still wish it wasn't random. I mean, I guess it would be too good if it wasn't, I guess. But whatever, make it be too good. Who cares, right? Like the way Constructed works in most customizable card games is that archetypes are defined by 2 good cards. It doesn't break the game. That's what defines the good decks.
Like,
so
this is like Frostbolt, but you can't hit face with it. So
right.
if you could target the minion, is that really like that much better than Frostbolt?
I mean,
Frostbolt,
like,
way better.
And what's ironic is Frostbolt perfectly fits into the category I mentioned, that it's kind of a defining card for Mage.
Yeah.
Not one that breaks the game, and this wouldn't be better than Frostbolt if it could target.
Yeah. So it's just sad that it's not.
Yeah, I don't really get why they felt the need to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's that one. I don't know if it'll make it to Constructed. If rush decks are really powerful, maybe it still does.
It wouldn't blow my mind if this made it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the Cold Wraith. This is gonna be like the arena
stopper.
Yeah,
Holy
this is the arena
crap.
master.
So this is much aligned with that hunter card that I was talking about, where
Mhm.
the point of this card is not its effect. And in fact, its effect is actually going to be hard to set up,
Yeah.
meaning I doubt you'll ever see this in constructed.
No.
But it's powerful in arena, and if you ever set it up in arena, then it's just stupidity. Like,
Yeah. Like, oh boy. 3 mana 3/4s are very good in arena, and if it doesn't cost you a card to play it, you're just maybe you won right there. I don't know.
yeah, it's really really good. So overall, though, I mean, I in Magic Draft, it's less a problem to me in Hearthstone Arena for I'm not sure what reason. I'm sure I could come up with them, but I've never thought about it. But there's something I call the sweet spot, which is like kind of an ironic antagonistic name. Basically, cards that are too weak to see play in constructed formats, but too good in draft.
Yeah.
And this card is in that sweet spot.
The
So
true sweet spot.
yeah, but I mean here it's not necessarily too good for
Yeah.
arena, which is why I don't really care. But that's a thing you want to avoid is cards that are too good for one and not good enough for the other, because then just nobody's happy that plays anything.
Yeah. And
So
something that is making me sad thinking about it right now is that we've looked at Druid and Hunter, and their cards are Hunter cards were probably a bit okay for arena, and the Druid cards were just mostly F minus, except the rare. And here's Mage, who has been dominant in arena since
forever.
time, from the beginning of time. And here's this thing that's gonna just crush people. So
Yep. Yeah, the first two
thanks.
cards are both like A's in arena.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yep. They always do this. I don't know why. It's just the archetypes of mage and maybe rogue just literally lend themselves to what arena's trying to do. So it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Now we have the Frozen clone.
So already A plus for the name.
Yeah. Very good name.
Frozen Throne.
Art
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. It's actually an epic mage duel.
Is it counterspell? Is this like negate?
Yes, it's negate, literally.
Um, and you play around it the same way you play around every other.
Yeah,
mirror
so
entity,
we already discussed the way secrets work or fail to work. So the dynamics of this are an F.
Yep. So just
You
goodbye.
literally play around this the same way you play around duplicate, or no, sorry, not duplicate. Mirror entity, and there's another one too, right? What is there another one I'm not thinking of that you play around? Oh yeah, potion polymorph.
Yep.
So there's now 3 secrets that you play around with the exact same logic pattern.
Yep.
What is the point of that?
No point. And
There is literally no point.
nope. I guess maybe that's what they thought too, but you need
But
135
yeah,
cards.
the big Blizzard, Big Daddy Activision put a gun to their head and said, "Make some garbage,"
And away they went.
and away they went.
Okay, now we have the start on the rares. We got the Ice Walker. I like the idea behind it.
This card needed to say "Battle Cry"
Yeah.
permanently. Hero power. Because I mean, as it is, this card is just ungodly terrible.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so bad.
It's unreal. Like, so I don't even want to talk about the effect because this is real close to being. Actually, it's as bad as that summon of 1/5 in Druid that maybe summons 2 1/5s.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally F minus tier. So we're actually done talking about it because it is hideous. Okay.
Oh, and then we have.
Oh
it's
no. Okay, so folks, I hope you understand. I hope you understand, or I hope someone will explain it to you. So our next card is Ghastly Conjurer. I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
It's bad.
Dude, Doomed Apprentice. Okay, gotta control my breathing. All right. Holy crap! So, so it adds there 0 mana 0/2s. That's a mirror image, right?
Yeah. The spell is so it adds a spell. Yeah. It's 1 mana.
Oh, it adds a spell. I thought it added one of the.
No. Yeah, it adds a spell, which I think is actually pretty nice.
Oh yeah, look at that. It actually says spell. Okay. That's strong.
I think could it fit into a tempo deck?
I have no idea what kind of deck it fits in, but anytime that a card with even semi-reasonable stats
Hmm.
draws you a cheap, relevant card, that card will probably get played somewhere.
I feel like this card would like stuff Pirate Warrior.
I think it's actually just you just play it probably.
Yeah, it's very good.
Like you just play. Like who cares what you're up against? You just play it because your deck either has ways to get value out of playing spells, or it buys you a lot of time, or
Hmm. Hmm.
whatever the hell it does. Who knows what it does? But it's pretty strong. And the thing about this is actually going to be interesting to play with, interesting to play against, and it wasn't like hard to make this card, so to speak. Like
Nope.
this wasn't a lot of effort to make, but it works really well.
I think
So
it's great.
it's an efficient design, and the art is one of my favorites. Also,
Hmm.
God, I love that art. It's great. So yeah, all around great card.
Okay, moving on. Simulacrum.
Oh, what the? No.
I don't know.
What? 3 mana to draw one card that you have to set up?
Yeah, I don't know. Why isn't it like pick a card
Why isn't
in
it
your
1
hand?
mana? Why isn't it 1 mana? If it was 1 mana, then maybe if you got Trixie, you could use it
Yeah,
at 1 mana.
I don't know what's
Three
going on.
mana? And again, this must have been a case where they play tested. It couldn't have started at 3. There's just no chance. I refuse to believe it started at 3. They play tested it when it was cheaper, and somebody for some reason just didn't want to print a good card. They wanted to print a really bad one, so they did.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea is. It's like what? I'm trying to think even what the best case is.
Also, this card should be called Frozen Alive based on the
Yeah, or
art.
like Power of Frost. Whenever you freeze a minion, deal an extra 2 damage to it forever.
Yeah, but it's like this is not simulacrum. There's actually no simulacrum in the picture.
Yeah, I don't. It's just every step is a fail.
Yeah, it's just awful.
Okay, so we're moving on to Glacial Mysteries. Exciting.
Glacial Mystery Challenger? Question mark. Um. So yeah. Uh. I don't like prescriptive build around cards. Basically, what I call Yu-Gi-Oh!ing it up.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh, and you shouldn't, so congratulations to you. Good job. Basically, the way Yu-Gi-Oh works is that it's the least customizable card game ever,
Mhm.
because every card says literally works with specifically this card by name and this card by name, meaning that the deck quite frankly builds itself, so it's not customizable at all. It's just a way of selling the cards in a very expensive way.
Mhm.
There's really nothing customizable about it. And this is kind of in that vein where, hey, I want to make my Glacial Mysteries deck. I wonder what I need to put in my deck. Well, I know what 12 of the cards are going to be. This plus 10 secrets. And maybe you even need more than 10 secrets just because you might need 12. I don't know. But the point is, that's like over a third of your deck. If the second you decide to ever play this card, you know over a third of your deck. That is too many cards.
You probably know more than that, actually. You probably know.
Oh, sure.
almost
No,
all
no,
of it.
that's utter minimum.
Yeah.
Is over a third, and that's too much. And on top of that, this card sucks. I'm pretty sure.
Because the current secret deck is very tempo, and you don't actually play that many secrets. You play like
You
four.
played the 6 good ones.
Yeah, 4 or 6 or something. And it's mostly just you draw a bunch of cards and cast all your spells and hope for the best. And this is not something you're going to do on turn 8. On turn 8 with the tempo deck, you're going to fireball twice probably or something.
Right. Yeah.
This is not. No.
Yeah.
And even in a control deck, what do you have? Like Ice Block? Like that's the only one. So what do you?
No, it's not. No.
No.
Nope.
Now we got Syndragosa, the big lady herself. Maybe it's skeleton now. And the frozen champions are 0/1 taunts. Add a legendary to your hand.
No, they're not taunt. They're no taunt.
Oh, they're not taunt. Oh.
No, they have to get AoE'd or you have to gun them down yourself. Which mage is probably better doing than anyone else. So
Yeah.
you ping them or whatever.
Okay, I wish they were taunt.
Well, so again, this is actually they're doing a lot of these cards where like the stats are fine already,
Mm-hmm.
so the effect is less relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And here the effect's pretty freaking strong.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it as
it's
strong
hard
now?
for. What do you mean by now? Like
Because
as
all
opposed to.
the legendaries they added this expansion, like the
Oh,
power
oh, oh, oh!
goes way
Never mind.
down.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If it actually said Death Rattle draw a Frozen Champion, that'd probably be stronger on average. Um,
That's so
but,
sad.
yeah, draw 0/1 that does nothing, but replace itself.
At least that's better than Hedronox.
Yeah. So yeah, burns aside. Again, I mean, these cards are easy to design because when the base stats are already strong, you know, you have a lot of leeway with the effect. You have a lot more room to make the effect marginal.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I like the design though, and
Yeah.
it's a good picture of Sindragosa. It's cool. I'm nothing against it really.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if it makes it into a deck.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
also in an arena.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Wow.
this is the arena. If you rip this one,
Goodbye.
you did it. The thing is,
Goodbye.
I don't think you have enough room, and I think that you're gonna put Archmage Antonitis in instead. If you
I
get,
think this would go in a different type of deck. I think this would go in a slower, more controlling deck because this card provides way more value on its own than a lot of other finishers
yeah. Okay. Well,
or
we'll
just
see.
late game type cards.
All right. Next up, we have the Lich, the Frost Lich.
Why does she look like a troll? Like her hair and face. I mean, not her skin color, but she looks like a troll from
I think
Warcraft.
that's actually like a crown of icicles.
But she
Hard to
looks like
tell.
a troll.
She has Frostborn.
There you go.
You
So
were
they got one
complaining
right.
about it. You were
They
complaining
all
about
should
it.
have had it.
There it is.
No, but they all should have
Uh, Malfurion could have Frost Face.
it. Yeah, Frostfang.
Okay. Oh yeah, mages can use swords. That's why she has it.
Yeah, look at that.
Perfect. Okay.
Spellfire Blade. Get that transmog. Anyway.
Right. So you summon a water elemental. So it costs. First of all, it costs 9. So this thing better be the
Yeah,
fucking nuts.
solid 9-mana War Elemental.
Your elements of lifesteal. Oh, good.
That's not good. So this hero power better be monumental.
Oh.
Oh, it is. It's monumentally bad. It doesn't also freeze the thing.
No. It's
Called
icy touch.
Icy Touch. It actually
like
has no
freeze.
reference to anything ice or freeze at all. Yeah, this card's getting a Z minus. I really don't like the art. The effect is not good at all. So, okay, we're gonna play a little game of quiz CWheezy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I always do one pop quiz in each of these reviews. So here's your pop quiz. When do you want healing as a slow deck versus a fast deck?
When do I want healing? Let's see. I probably want healing.
Would you say, okay, on the gradation scale of as soon as possible to really late in the game?
Probably as soon as possible, because late in the game I'm dead.
Ooh, so late in the game you're dead.
Yep.
So how do you feel about 9-mana cards that start enabling healing on turn 10?
I think it's gonna fit right in Pirate Warrior when I lose on turn 5.
Okay, you are correct on both counts. So, for those of you who didn't get the point of our little game show there, this does an anti-aggro thing after the game's already been decided versus an aggro deck.
Yeah, if you made it to turn 9 versus Pirate Warrior, you probably won. Like,
yeah,
destroyed him.
Actually, no, you didn't win. Or rather, you literally won because they conceded by like turn 7.
Yeah.
Like they know.
So I don't know.
That's straight in the garbage.
It's very frustrating to me. Like when neutral legendaries are bad, like maybe they tried something interesting and they
or
wanted
it's
to be
just hard to
synergy.
make it not be broken in
Yeah.
all the various things that could happen.
But these Death Knight cards, they are your iconic cards. You hype them up, you advertise, oh, everyone's gonna be a Death Knight. This is, all our what ifs. what if this person with Arthas instead, and they are just so bad. They're
Here's a
so
what if.
bad.
What if one of them ended up being playable?
That amazing. I think there is.
Amazing.
I think the paladin one actually.
Okay, I haven't even seen that one, so yeah,
Okay.
we'll get to it. But yeah, like this could literally say, fill your board with water elementals, and then I might start considering it.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, well we're
It's
done with mage.
hideous.
I
Why
like.
doesn't it at least like summon like an Uber elemental, like an 8/8 taunt elemental? Compare this to Sindragosa.
Yeah.
Because again, this is not anti-aggro because it's just too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a control versus control. Like it just has to be at 9 mana. There
Right.
is no such thing as a 9 mana anti-aggro card. That is not a thing.
No.
So you can only evaluate it in versus mid-range or versus control, and particularly versus control. So compare this to Sindragosa versus control.
It's like
It's
10,000
a
times
joke.
better. Yeah.
It's a joke.
I don't know.
It's really like it makes me wonder what happened.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, not only should the hero power freeze, it should also cost 0. It should be a 0 cost, deal 1, freeze a minion if it kills it, summon a water elemental, and battle cry, summon an 8/8 elemental with taunt. That's what this card should say. And then, or gain like 10 armor also. It's just terrible. Okay, so that's mage for you. So moving on to paladin, we have power creep.
Yeah, this
The
card.
power creep protector.
Paladin rush decks are what's powerful right now. I think it's great. It's gonna be really. It's gonna be nasty in arena. I think.
So I actually have a minor problem with this card. Technically, it's not strictly bad bullshit design because it's a class card,
Mhm.
and you're allowed to make a class card better than a neutral card, even a good neutral card, because it has the restriction of only being able to play it in one class, which is technically a downside or a cost or whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
But it's kind of lame that they took a card that's already perfectly fine
Yeah.
and then made it better. I mean, they didn't make it a lot better, but they made it better.
Yeah.
Overall, though, whatever. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, then we got the what? I haven't seen this card either. Dark Conviction.
So, okay, time for garbage reviews to gloat a little bit about the last time we saw this text on a card
Yeah.
was on a little guy called Sunkeeper Tarim.
Yep.
We said it was probably the single best card in the whole set,
Yep.
and was just game over every time you played it. Professional players, who I struggle to even call them that, said almost unanimously, like it was a ubiquitous opinion that Sunkeeper Tarim was bad.
Never gonna be played.
They're all just bafflingly wrong. I just can't even imagine how they were so completely and utterly wrong. Like it blows my mind. This card, on the other hand, seems to really suck.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, first off, part of what makes Sunkeeper Tarim awesome, or even Keeper of Uldaman, is that it was very reasonable to use on your own minion.
Yep.
Because you were getting a good amount of stats beside the effect.
Mhm.
Here, you get 0/0. You summon a 0/0 and then do this effect, right? So
Yeah.
you really can't justify using it on a 1/1 anymore
No.
because it's just not good enough.
No.
So therefore, you're pretty much locked into doing it on their guy, and that makes it like the worst removal spell ever.
It's really sad.
I'm
you
kind
already
of
have
glad though. I'm
humility.
happy that they're taking top tier arena classes and giving them garbage cards
Yeah.
because that actually helps. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sad that any garbage cards exist, but if you're gonna put a garbage card in, give it to Mage, Paladin, and Rogue. Thank you.
Yeah. Paladin's actually technically number 1, just because of Spike.
Well, they absolutely won't be now.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. This card could have all good cards in it, and they won't be number 1 anymore because you won't get the occurrence bonus on Spike
Nope.
Ridge. So,
Yeah. Rip in peace.
yeah.
And then we have
Goodbye.
the next.
I mean, that card ruined the game though, so I'm glad that that's gone away. No. What is this?
Yeah. He's
So
sad.
either the designers know something that I really don't know, like, and I'm really missing it, and I'm really blind, or this is one of the worst cards I've ever seen.
It's so bad. It's so
It
bad.
just seems terrible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ooh.
uh, so like, it, I don't really have anything to say. It just looks like it sucks, and I hope I'm wrong. I guess, but
I don't think
it
I don't know.
sucks. Moving on. I mean, I don't know. I got nothing.
All right, now we got the targeted redemption.
Yeah. So targeted secret. This seems like uh, like I don't know what to call it. Like their design is devolving because the
Yeah.
more interesting card would be the secret version of this,
Hmm.
and this is the less interesting one.
Yep.
So why did you make the less interesting one second? Like if the progression was the other way, I would think it was super clever. I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. They made redemption cheaper, but now it's like, oh, they have to trick your opponent or set it up.
Yeah.
They did it reverse. Um, I hate this card.
Yeah, it sucks.
Uh,
I feel
whatever.
I feel like it's also a flavor fail. Like this isn't very a desperate stand. You're gonna fucking die, and then you just come back.
Yeah, I mean, well, the art certainly doesn't help it
No.
because that looks like Holy Resurrection, and I'm like stronger than before.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
yeah, it's all around terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. This
Alright.
card's art's really bad. I don't know what this is, but I really don't like the art.
Oh, it's howling, or maybe sucking your soul in. Hard to tell.
Right. Yeah, that definitely looks like it's going inward, not outward.
Mhm.
Based on that curve upward into its mouth. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's actually like I'm surprised because I would say even if I don't like the art, I'd say it's pretty competently done. But
Mhm.
when you make those like sound waves or whatever they're supposed to be curve up into their mouth, that clearly indicates inward motion in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and now we have just draw a divine shield minion from your deck. I guess it's another 3 for 2/2. It's not discover though. That's sad.
Yeah, this one's less interesting than the Hunter one.
Mhm.
And I think we'll actually see less play, and also could potentially be bad in arena because you don't always get to have.
No,
Divine
you
Shield
don't
guys.
have that many divine shields.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
when
think
it's
it
good,
sucks.
it'll be very good. But like if you get it late when you already have some, then yeah, it's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think overall this card sucks, and I don't like anything about it.
Yeah. Rip. All right, now we got the arrogant crusader.
Okay, so I hadn't seen this one. I knew there was a warrior one with this effect.
Yeah.
This might take the cake for the worst card in the set.
It is unreal how shitty this.
Holy crap! So okay, I get the idea that it's clever. Like, here's the thing that kills me, man, is that it's really clever, actually, that you make a guy with good attack for its cost and really bad health for its cost. Because guess what that's really bad against? Getting traded into by a weak guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Like,
makes sense.
that's very clever. So what is your big payoff? You get a 2/2.
It's so bad.
So, like, they actually probably don't even care. Because think of it this way. If they lose their 2/2 and kill this on their turn, right? So it's their turn, so you're going to trigger it, right?
Yeah.
This is the good case, right?
Yeah.
Is they trigger it. That's the good case. So you traded with their 2/2, and now you have a 2/2. So it is way worse than an infested Tauren, a marginally playable card.
Yeah. Probably not. Infested Tauren wasn't like really playable. I guess.
I mean,
Tauren showed
marginally,
up.
because of the Zoth. It's just because the Zoth exists.
Yeah.
It did show up, but that's just because of the Zoth. So it's like worse than like a marginal, not really playable card.
It's really sad.
It's super crap.
God.
I'm trying to think how it would be better. Make it a 3/3, and I think I actually would really like this card's design.
What if it was like a 10-2?
Well, no, that's just you never want that because what happens if they just can't?
Or you
Like, you don't
adapt it
wanna-
and get Wind Fury or something.
It's just some stupid crap, right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't need that in your game. But
No.
no, I think if it just made a 3/3, I would really like this card.
Yeah, it would be exciting. But
I would like because I think the design, like again, it makes so much sense, but then the upside is so low.
yeah.
It's
so
so
sad.
low.
All right, next up we got Light
The
Sorrow.
card with the wrong name. Okay, so I guess I actually looked it up afterward. It isn't completely identical to Hailstorm, but there
Okay.
is literally a sword that looks 99% like this in WoW that Malagos dropped. I remember it very well because I played a ton during that time, called Hailstorm, and that's what the name of this card should be.
Yep.
So I already don't like it for that reason.
Um,
That being said, I actually, regardless of how good or bad it is, I think this is a pretty interesting card because I think it's important to make weapons that interact with the board in different ways, and this fits that criteria in a pretty interesting way. Where, um, like, this card has real upside, but starts off slow, which I think is an underdeveloped space with weapons, like Poison Blade. Um, So I like that aspect. Ultimately, I don't think it's strong enough, but
no.
um, for the less like cutthroat environments, like in arena maybe in a certain deck it might be good, and weapons in general just kind of good in arena, or in like you're kind of more middling casual player. I think it's pretty interesting.
I think if you wanted it to be good, it would be while it's in your hand. It
I
gained.
think it'd be really good then. I think it'd actually be too good then, because
Yeah,
then you just sandbag it till turn like 12, and then you shot them, right? You just
maybe.
like go
Well,
seven
it's
seven.
but at least like there's a cost, right? Like it's sort of like having the big card in your hand at the start of the game. Like you can't play this card. And
Yeah, but the thing is that it would be too flexible, I think.
yeah,
But yeah, that's true. That concept's true. I think if you wanted this card to be tournament playable, it's very simple. Just make it start as a 2/4. There you go.
yeah,
And then if you ever trigger it once, then it's actually already really good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's fair. Alrighty. Now we're on the
ooh, I
next
haven't
epic,
seen this
the
guy.
Blackguard.
Whenever your hero is healed, do that much damage to a random enemy minion. So one thing I applaud them on is that they had the good sense to make this not hit face, which actually isn't about power level in terms of like it being too broken if it hits face, but I think it'd actually be really useless and really triggering and really bad if it could hit face.
Yeah,
Because you're never going to play this in a deck that's trying to hit their face.
yeah.
So they actually erred on the side of playability by making this not be able to hit face. So I actually applaud that. Because by default, I'm sure they intended it to hit face at some point. Like that's just what these cards do. Like think of Adis Darkbane, right? Like
Or
the worst case scenario.
yeah, and the
was
other the Shadow Boxer.
Right. Yeah, the worst case scenario with both those cards and what made them not playable was that they could hit face. When you just really wanted them to hit a minion.
Yeah, so I like it.
So I like that. I really like that part of it. Like that's an important distinction for me. Do I think the card's good? Probably it's terrible, but
Yeah,
um,
so bad. I think in Arena actually it'll be very dangerous.
I mean 3/9 in arena for 6 is already just fine.
Yep.
And again, we could see a lot of these cards. They're just going for efficiently statted. So who really cares what it does?
Yeah.
So will it ever see tournament play? I mean, it has a chance if there's enough healing. I honestly, I play so little Paladin. I don't even remember what healing they have.
They have
But,
they use like Forbidden Healing and True Skiller.
right.
That's like
And then the Ragnaros, right?
yeah, and Ragnaros. The thing is,
But healing Ragnaros is bad with this because it might heal this guy.
yeah,
Rather than
I think the idea is there's too much. I think it's just too slow to see play. It's sort of like a combo-y card, but it costs too much to sort of go off with it. Like you're not really gonna play this and then play Forbidden Healing on your face for 8, right? Like that's not.
I mean,
You
probably not.
You need to save Forbidden Healing for like the 20.
Yeah,
Right.
probably not. I mean, we'll see.
All right.
So every good thing I said about any of these, just throw it out the window.
Yep.
I would say on average, their legendary design has been about
It's average enough.
800 to 1,000% worse than all other cards.
This is just. Ugh.
This card is hideous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. It counts itself, so it's a 3/7 kind of. But we're talking about a motherfucking legendary
Yeah.
3/7 for 5. That's
And
what it did.
Not only is this legendary, this is like the famous take over
Yeah.
Ice Crown
Yeah.
Citadel after Arthas
Bolvar.
is dead legendary.
Yeah.
This is Bolvar, the 40-yard AoE Hammer of Justice God.
Yeah.
And back-to-back legendaries. He's been in the game twice now, and they've just been shit, and it's very sad. He's like the main alliance character for Ice Crown. He shows up everywhere and does crazy things.
He's like
and
the most important story character after Arthas, basically.
Yeah, and it's just disappointing to see him done like this.
Done well. Though I mean, you know, so I work in the restaurant industry, and normally when something's that burnt, you do throw it straight in the trash can. So it's faithful to real life.
Yep. Oh god. Okay, now we got Uther the Ebon Blade.
Oh, here we go. 5-3. Okay, so already that's by far the best battle cry we've seen.
Yep.
I've never seen this before.
You get the corrupted Ashbringer.
Right. And then we get somebody.
The 4 horsemen.
So are the 2/2s just 2/2s?
Yes, they're just 2/2s. Okay.
So it turns your hero power functionally into make some 2/2s. Although if you can dominate the board, you win the game.
Yeah.
So first off, this is sweet. I don't know how good it is, but it's sweet. It's very sweet. The fact that the weapon has lifesteal means it's probably very strong.
Yep.
Like versus mid range. Again, you really can never rely on this against aggro ever. Although at least it has the upside of if you manage to make it to turn 9, then you could probably hit their face and truly heal for 5, which is nice. Whereas like Jaina's, even if you somehow made it to turn 9, they're not going to hit your water elemental.
No.
So like this one actually provides a real life swing if somehow you barely make it there and you're still kind of in danger. Although still probably not really going to be relevant against aggro. But against mid range, it's brutal, and then against control, I mean, making a 2/2 every turn for free is a pretty real threat. And then if you ever dominate the board, that you just force like this. Like if you could dominate the board with weapons and spells, just your hero power will force their AoE removal out of them, and you can save your actual minion-based threats.
That's really dangerous. I think if you rip this in arena, you're probably going to win.
I mean, literally a 9-mana 5/3 lifesteal weapon is probably playable in arena.
It's really good.
Like never mind the 5 armor and the whatever.
Yeah.
I think
like
this
it.
card. I like the design a lot, and I think it's actually pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
Yeah. So I think that's the only Death Knight.
So far, at least so far.
Yeah. Okay, on to Priest. The Shadow Ascendant.
Man, so they are big about making Priest have snowbally cancer arena cards.
Priest is gonna be good this time. God damn it!
Holy crap! This card, I mean, on your average case scenario, it's probably mediocre, if not worse than mediocre. But when it does the deed, you just win the game.
Oh yeah,
because it buffs your. Like, could you just play this and then play the Talon Priest and then watch your opponent actually concede?
Yeah, he'd have to.
Or like, think about this, and this is maybe even more threatening. Coin this into this. Into another one.
Yeah.
And then they're done? Like, how do you come back from that?
I don't know.
And this card, and again, this is sweet spot. There's no chance in ever-loving hell that this is anywhere remotely near constructed. So all this can do is just troll the ever-loving hell out of arena players, or be bad in arena and then troll the hell out of the priest. I give this card an F for that reason. Not because it's inherently a bad design in a vacuum, but because in the context of the way this will play out in games,
it's just gonna be
someone's not gonna have fun.
Nope. And it's probably the other person.
Probably, we'll see. I think it actually might be bad on average, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Just because it's 2/2 so weak. All right. Next up, we got the Spirit Lash. I like it.
I think this is the best designed spell we've seen so far, probably. Yep. And Priest likes this. Priest hasn't had this, so it's cool. It's new design space for them. It's using their new mechanic in a way that makes sense to me. I just have nothing bad to say about this. Good job.
A+. All right, next we got the Acolyte of Agony, just a blank lifesteal.
It's boring, but sure. I mean, I don't mind them putting their new keyword on a normal vanilla guy.
Yeah, that's fine. It's boring. I don't think it'll make it.
It's not good.
No.
Oh, no way.
No way.
It's kind of bad in Arena too. I mean, compared to Earthen Ring Farseer, who I'd say is at this point average, maybe like tiny bit above average. This is worse than that.
Yeah. All right. Next, we got the Eternal Servitude. This is an exciting control card.
This card's sweet.
Yeah.
This is why Discover. I think Discover's probably the best mechanic they've ever made in the game.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, easily. Never mind. Maybe easily the best mechanic they've ever made. But I'm thinking of like the cards I like. Like I think probably my favorite single card of all time is probably Archvieh for Fom, and he has Discover. So,
yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, it's very powerful. I think in Arena, like if you top deck this in Arena, they might be.
It's pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it's you can totally play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Better than Molten Reflection is in Arena.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus Christ.
Reflection is like slightly underpowered.
Yeah, this is slightly. I'd say it's just on power.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Now we got the Devour Mind.
What?
Yeah.
So it's big Thought Steal.
Yeah.
But the thing is, no one plays Thought Steal, and this is worse than Thought Steal.
Yep.
So I don't get it.
I mean, the only place you'll see this in Arena because it's just a draw 3 for 5, which is cool.
Oh yeah, in Arena it's really strong.
Yeah, it's just it's a sweet thing. It's in that sweet spot, I think. Maybe not too good in Arena.
Well, it's not too good in Arena because even though 5-mana draw 3s are really strong in Arena, in Priest they're at their weakest because Priest needs the most tempo of any class.
Yeah, that's right.
Or rather, sorry, they don't need. What I mean by they need the most tempo is they innately have the least, so they need to devote all their effort to it the most out of any class.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's it. Okay,
yeah.
Now we got the Shadow Essence.
Okay, what the hell is this supposed to be? The Dark Iron Dwarf Confessor Pelatris or something? What the
I don't
fuck
know
is this
what's
art?
going on. I don't know how you'd use it.
Why does she have a dildo on her belt?
That's a vial.
That's a dildo.
That is not a dildo. Get out of here.
It's a golden dildo.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
why is it? What is it golden at least? Because she's got the gold trim. Is that what the creature will come out no matter what?
I don't get this. I don't like this. Is random done bad because the card is inherently inefficient, so you need to high roll it for it to be worth putting in your deck.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can build a deck where it's only high rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be like toxic randomness. Where sometimes you hit the. I don't even. What are you trying to hit with this? I'm trying to think. What is the card? I guess. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's always the answer, right?
Or some death rattle. That's good.
Yeah. I don't. Oh man. Yeah. I think this card. I don't like anything about it at all. No. So moving on. Embrace Darkness, isn't that the same name as the other one?
Yeah.
The 2-mana one? What's that card called? I thought that was... If you had asked me, Matt, pop quiz, what's the name of that 2-mana card that turns your healing into damage? I would have said, like, Embrace the Darkness.
I think it's Embrace the Shadow.
Oh, Embrace the Shadow. So different. So different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed... Like, come on. You can't Magic the Gathering it up already. You're not even, like, 20,000 cards in.
No. They're running out of names. What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it in Magic because, they've already named a card everything.
Mm-hmm.
But come on. Really? Like, I actually am pissed off about that. Like, that's not okay. But, yeah, so it's like unbelievably bad mind control.
Yeah. Well, hope you don't trade away your guy.
Right. So the idea is, I mean, this card... I would say it's strong in control against control, where you could, when no one has anything, and then they play a big guy, and then you could afford to take a face hit.
Yeah.
But strong wouldn't even be the right word because
that's just like marginal, control, right?
Yeah, it's just marginal, and well, at that point, it's more like, how do I even put it? It's like they just have so much opportunity to do things that you don't like. Whether it's before they do that while this card's sitting in your hand, or once you play it, or just when the hell ever. Like, it's just very hard for this card to ever do something good.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yeah. Goodbye.
And it's a trap in Arena. Do not pick it.
Oh, God. Please do not.
Do not pick it. Do not pick it.
All right. Next we up, Now we have the Big
Oh
Poppy.
God.
This is here's the thing you want to pull out. Pull
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that's true.
So this is going in my
This
Death
is
Rattle deck.
nasty.
This thing is
This
nasty as
card.
fuck.
So, um, yeah. Sadly, it's not super good because again, not cost 9 means that it's just not a thing against aggro, which is where this card would be unreal.
Yeah.
But against mid range, this is still pretty strong,
Yeah, holy
and
moly. If he
it's
heals
not
good,
even
yeah.
bad. It's not even bad in control against control because no matter how big the dude they play is, this always trades with it. It's pretty much got poisonous in that
Yeah.
sense. I mean, okay, if they play a big guy, then you play this, and then they have a chance to attack and kill it in one shot, where you don't have like where basically if they kill it on their turn, they could potentially play like a crappy guy and then roll a 50-50.
Yeah.
But because it has 8 life, you're probably gonna get to the suicided how you want in a lot of cases.
And that's just nasty.
And then yeah, it's just really strong.
And then you're gonna pull it back with Nazoth. That's just like if you
Or just with the res card.
yeah,
right?
if you manage to play 2 of these in Nazoth, like I don't know how you lose.
Yeah, it's true. I like the design too. I mean, I don't generally like destroy a random minion, but when it's on a guy that's pretty much guaranteeing that that's like not random,
Yeah.
like it could actually say destroy their lowest power minion, and I would like it more because then you can't high roll it and you just have to set it up. But it would almost do the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I really like this card.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
really like it.
I like it.
I think it looks cool too.
Oh, okay.
We're back in Z minus. Like we had a bit of a break where like, it was fun.
What in the holy mother of fuck? Okay, so literally, I'm gonna explain the origin of this card. So little did you guys know, I actually work at Blizzard, and I'm Ben Brode's personal assistant. And one day he came up to my office, and he was fucking cracking up, man. Tears rolling down his eyes. He could barely speak. He goes, "Hey, listen. So I forgot to design the priest legendary, and no, I didn't even assign it to anybody. And then it was time to do the final submission. So I literally just went to one of those websites where it just like random generate an effect, and I hit the button once, and I didn't even read it, and I submitted it, and they said good job with that card, and then I read it now, and look at this piece of shit, and that's actually what happened. So let's get this straight, because I really want you guys to understand that somebody, or more likely multiple people at Blizzard, like there's a couple cards here that really make me wonder, but this one just absolutely without a shadow of a doubt confirms it. There's only 2 alternatives here. There are multiple extremely incompetent people, or they are actually to some degree malicious and truly not just maybe don't have like, because I can understand with some of the commons, you don't necessarily, I don't know how tight their deadlines are. You don't necessarily have time to really put a lot of effort into all of them.
Right,
So you
right.
you make a 3/3 lifesteal for 3, whatever, it's fine.
I forget.
It's a card in the file. It's a card in the file, whatever. You're telling me they didn't have time to design one of their class legendaries? I don't believe you. So either again they're completely incompetent, or they literally wanted to put garbage in your packs that you're paying money for.
It has to be they want to put garbage in.
Because this is, let's get this right. A 7-mana 4/6 is atrocious. That's about what you want for a 5-drop. 4-drop, if it was vanilla, you'd want it to be on a 4-drop. 5-drop, you kind of want an ability. So it's about 3 overcosted. But there's a twist. Its battle cry is a downside. So actually, it needs to cost 3 mana to be playable.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't play it at 3 mana.
No. This is sort of another thing. Archbishop Benedictus is another famous WoW character, and they just sort of obliterated him. Like, no one wants to see him. And is that really what you want? Like, is that what they tried to do? They made a card like, this is the best idea we had, and we're going to use one of our iconic characters, and we're going to make a card that you never ever want to see. Like, really? Like, are they just... I don't know.
And as far as their trolly, stupid, obviously bad designs go, this one isn't even going to lead to funny montages. So
No,
what the hell?
it's incredibly boring. It's not like, yeah,
This card, I would have given it its trolley thumbs up. Yeah, it's really bad, but I would have at least given it the trolley thumbs up if it also put every card in their hand in your hand also.
yeah, it would be
Because
funny.
then at least, yeah, like yeah, it's still pretty bad. Like probably too bad to play, but at least it might draw you 5 goddamn cards.
Yeah.
So at least there's upside. But what the hell is this? Like, honestly, like, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt and assume you're not fucking assholes and just assume you're completely terrible at your job.
Yeah, that's the
So
only
you're
thing you can
welcome. You're welcome for me assuming that you're just completely incompetent.
do. Yep.
Because that's actually the good alternative for you in this situation.
Hmm.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
If anyone ever says that the card design in Hearthstone is great or it's the best among card games, I will just link them a picture of this, and then they'll have to throw their computer out the window because they've lost.
Yeah. They can never go on the internet again.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Now we have the Death Knight.
This art is hideously bad.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
It looks like a fourth grader in MS Paint made this. I'm not even kidding. It
Yeah.
looks atrocious.
It's very weird.
It's really bad.
Now,
Like
normally,
it's like technically bad though. Like besides like I don't get the concept. It's like bad.
yeah, it's a lot of the time Hearthstone has a whole bunch of different artists, and I like that. I like that each card, lots of cards have like a different style or a different flavor. A lot of times it works really well, and this doesn't. I think I don't know what
It's
happened.
just like low quality.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not about the style. It just looks bad.
Yeah.
And it's too bad too because it could have looked really cool.
Mhm.
Like the concept's cool.
This is one of them. This is also one. It's on the upper level of power. Again, this is only versus like mid-range or control,
Yeah.
and his hero power is actually quite good too. I think he gets maybe the best.
Oh,
hero power.
that is really good. So
Yeah.
yeah, this card actually could totally see play. I'm not saying it will, but it totally
Yeah.
could.
It seems great.
As long as you kill at least one thing with the front side. I mean, if you can kill 2, then boom shakalaka.
Yeah, if you kill 2,
But-
you're in there.
But if you can even kill 1, it's fine. And then that hero power, like again, like that's pretty strong.
Hmm.
And also the fact that you can just start doming them for like 6 a turn if you have cheap cards. Like
Yep, it's crazy.
it's pretty strong. I really like the design. The art. Like I will never want to play with this card because it looks so bad.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
really
the gold
sad.
version looks better. I mean, probably actually because if it's all wavy, you probably can't tell how ugly it is.
All right, that's Priest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have Rogue and
We're starting off. Again, thank you for giving the complete garbage cards to Rogue at least.
yeah.
This card is unfathomably. This actually is the weakest card we've seen so far.
Yeah. It's
Actually,
so
it's not even remotely close.
Yep.
This is one of the weakest cards in the history of the game.
It's so bad. It's unreal.
Is this like?
It's
the
not worse
worst
than Millhouse.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that card actively makes you lose the game.
Yeah.
This card doesn't. It doesn't do anything bad to you. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a net negative, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess it can't be worse than that.
It's so bad.
But in terms of cards that are trying to do something positive, this is about the power level of Wisp in a deck with no combos.
Yep.
Like it does so close to nothing that it's just pathetic.
Ugh. All right,
Yeah.
let's get out of here. And then we have it's
no.
really nice that we have that Legion Poison first, and then the Rita Snatcher.
Oh no! So
You're
this
gonna see a
card
lot of
is
this guy.
absolutely in the sweet spot of ultra garbage in constructed.
So bad.
But in arena, oh
So good.
God.
Oh my God! Now every
So
minion...
a 2/3 for 3 poison is like marginal playable in arena, like the Cobra.
Cobra's actually above average. So
It's like fine.
yeah.
This is like way better than that.
So against some classes, like against Paladin, you want to try and clear the whole board because of the buffs. But other classes, you can kind of leave stuff, and
Yeah.
Rogue was sort of one
Not
of those.
anymore.
I felt, but
Not
now
anymore.
every card that you leave is gonna be
Is
poisonous.
assassinate.
Yeah,
Is
it's
assassinate. So,
like if
yeah.
they played like that a 1/3 taunt or something, and you're just like, oh, whatever.
Yep.
Who needs to
Not
worry about that?
whatever.
Oh, surprised.
Yeah. So
Rip
this
your
is
80.
yeah. This is gonna ruin some arena games for sure.
Yeah, it's on Rogue, so that's really nice. Back to the
Yep.
top, you go, Rogue.
Yep. Oh, like could this be a good card to combo with the scientist? Maybe. I mean, I can't tell.
The Bone
Why
Baron.
is
This is
this?
actually
You know what's
this is
weird?
actually my nickname in high school.
Oh yeah, that's what the ladies called you, right? Specifically. Uh,
Because I'm a
uh,
skeleton.
so this is not a rogue card, so I don't get it. This is like a paladin card or something, or a druid card, or a warlock card. This is three classes at least that would make more sense, or
Yeah.
even shaman would make more. Like I think when I think of this effect, other than like maybe priest or something, like rogue is like the last class I would have expected this text on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
It's like super warlocky.
Yeah, it seems like a warlock card. It even looks sort of warlocky.
Yeah,
know.
no, it does not look like a rogue card. So I guess when they designed this, it had a purple frame, and then someone was like, "Hey, Jim, we have one too many warlock cards and one too few rogue cards. How did we fuck that up?" Oh shit. All right, Bill. Hold on, I got it. You know what? Let's just make one of these cards a goddamn rogue card. But like, just
Done.
keep the same card. Yeah. Just make one of them, same name, everything. Just make it a rogue card. Put a gray border on it. Fuck it.
What if
And
it's
like,
gonna
all right,
be like
what's
an
the
arena
most-
smasher, Bob? Not too late, Jim.
Well. All right, which is the most generic? Bone Baron, he's pretty generic. Okay, he's a,
There's a
and that was it.
skeleton.
That's look at that. Again, bringing you the insights from the meeting room.
All right, now we have an exciting card. Roll the bones. This is an actual build around card.
Well, this is also an actual rogue move in WoW.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's the replacement for Slice and Dice, which you can then replace back with Slice and Dice. Anyway, so
I like it.
This card is not particularly good. Actually, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
Um,
if you're gonna build a Death Rattle deck, you're gonna put it in here, and it's gonna draw a bunch of cards.
I like the montage potential where someone's gonna like burn half their deck because they hit every Death Rattle in a row.
They could do that, yeah. Yeah, you
So
can't.
that's gonna be funny.
Once the bones start rolling, that train doesn't stop.
As a legendary fighting game player, Yipes would say, this card is very Pringles because once you pop, the fun don't stop.
I really like this card. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like how it's gonna affect deck building.
I also
how to
like
think
that
about
it's pretty garbage in Arena.
Yep. Yeah. It could be either like the best card you draft on like your 30th pick, or you pick it second and you cry all the way to the bank.
Yeah. I mean, it's never the worst as a 2-mana combo enabler, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah. All right. Next we got the Shadow Blade.
This is pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I don't mind the design, even though it's just gonna help Rogue Crush Arena even more.
Yep. I don't think it makes it into a constructed.
It could actually.
It is. I'll agree that it's close, but
I think it could. I don't know that there's going to be a deck that wants it specifically, but it really could because this effect is just strong. I also like it where it's like a split card. It's a weapon, but it's really not a weapon as much as it is two different cards packed into one, but done elegantly. Like, and I don't know if any of you saw our last Magic review, but there was a lot of 2 cards in one that were done in the most inelegant way possible that just was like bafflingly bad. This is like the opposite, where this is really just 2 different cards in one, but it's done really elegantly. So I really like this card.
I think if this was written by the Hour of Devastation writers, it would have said, Battle Cry, equip a 3/2 weapon to your hero, and then also give it immune until the end of combat phase.
No. It definitely would have said, 3-mana spell, deal 3 damage to a minion without taunt. Oh no. Well, how do you say? I don't know how you say like that. It doesn't get around taunts, but like Deal 3 damage to a minion with taunt or one without taunt if none have taunt, and then equip a 3/1 weapon. Is what it would have said.
Oh god.
Is what it would have said.
All right.
So,
I like the card. I will come back to it. It's a good card. And then we have the Runeforge Haunter.
yeah.
I think it's interesting.
I think it's really low power because
Mm.
in order for this to get value, it needs to live a while. And instead,
weak.
it's going to live never.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good curve after Shadowblade,
Yeah.
but it's just not good because its stats suck, and it needs to. It does nothing when it comes. Well, okay, it can do something when it comes into play, but it doesn't always do something when it comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for it to do something good, it needs to stay in play for multiple turns. So overall, it's straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Sadly, but in terms of its design, I think I would like it more if it just kind of like said your weapon gets +1 durability or something, and then or like if you wanted to have like these aggressive die stats, like because the thing is, it's not good enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it said like give your weapon +2 durability, right?
At the end
which
of your
is
turn
kind of what. Just when Battlecry, give your weapon 2 durability.
Yeah.
Then I think I could understand the aggressive stats.
That would also play into the rogue archetype of putting stuff back in your hand and playing it again.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is, it needs defensive stats for this card to make sense.
Yeah.
This card makes a card that does this needs defensive stats. So it just doesn't makes no sense. So it's just not well designed.
Yeah. All right, next up we got the Doomerang.
I'm more iffy on the this is not as good as the Abominable Bowman.
No.
In terms of stupid flavor. So this is a Bizarro card.
Holy dooly. I love the art and the name.
I would say it's not really good. Okay, actually, in Arena, this could be pretty gross. Okay, actually, hold on. I think this could be. Oh, if you want Shadowblade, you're probably playing this too because it's sick as hell with Shadowblade.
Yep.
Because you get to play your Shadowblade, then 3 damage for 1 mana on the other thing, and then rebuy the Shadowblade. That's really strong, actually. Mm-hmm. But that's like the specific synergy, though. It would be less good with pretty much any other weapon because a lot of times you want to buff rogue weapons or they have a lot of durability. Shadowblade is neither, and actually is better the turn you play it, meaning rebuying it's even better than a normal one.
Yep.
So I actually don't like the overall design of this because I think it pretty much says return your Shadowblade, like throw your Shadowblade at a minion, and then return the Shadowblade to your hand. And if you're doing this with any other weapon, it's bad.
Yeah.
But they could do some more stuff in the future that would make it more interesting.
I think it would be more exciting on Warrior. Probably where it'd be.
Yeah, well, you could do a lot of things.
Turn 4 with the Doom Deathbite.
Oh no.
Turn 5 with Deathbite. That would be good with Doom.
Yeah, you think? You think it'll be all right?
Oh well. Yeah. Okay, then we got the Spectral Pillager.
Wow. This costs 6.
Yeah. That's all I got to say.
That's kind of where my analysis is. Also, why does she look like retarded? Like her face?
She loves her coins.
I thought that was like a necklace. Those are coins.
I think those are coins, right? Because they're coins specifically to ref that you're gonna try and.
Well, why aren't they? Why are they like in like a weird like untied necklace shape?
Because I don't know. She's grabbing them out of like a box. I bet if you saw like the full image of this, she's probably grabbing them out of a chest.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Stealing them. Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, as it is, I don't like this art at all. But so I don't think this card's interesting, and it's certainly not good.
No.
So yeah, I don't like Edwin Van Cleef is always going to be my favorite of these kind of cards. Because he is the wombo combo master, and he's actually powerful. So great.
and she fails.
Yep.
She could cost the same. Might
Okay,
even not be
so
a 5/5.
they really wanted to compete with the priest one, but sadly they accidentally, some idiot actually gave her 4/5 as her stats.
Yeah.
So sadly, all you got to do. So this one's downside is the 4 mana 4/5. You just have to play all the spells in your hand first.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm trying to think. Is there any way to game that and actually have this be an upside? Is there
Yeah,
any way?
you play with the plant rogue deck where all your hands are coins or the 1 mana deal ones.
Yeah, but did you actually ever get ahead on that? Like, Tomb Pillager's not legal anymore, so you didn't
Yeah.
turn a generated coin into a.
Oh,
I guess
Burgly Bully?
like. Okay, so that's one because like counterfeit coin doesn't count either because you could just put a good spell in your deck,
Yeah.
so that doesn't count either. Like any card that's starting in your deck doesn't count. It has to be a card that you generated. So
Mhm.
Burgly Bully, that's one. Is there any others? I guess Razor Petal Volley technically.
Yep. Razor Petal Volley and the Lashers.
I mean, but again,
Built inside your deck.
that violates our principle of you don't play a bad card to justify a bad card.
Yeah.
And Lillian Voss is definitely bad, and then so is Razor Petal Volley. The Lasher is one. So if somehow you had enough Burgly Bullies and Razor Petal Lashers, then maybe this is somehow a minor upset. This card sucks.
Yeah, it just sucks, and it's very sad.
At least it. I'll give it a thumbs up for the trolley though,
Yeah.
where you will get a good montage out of this card.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't hate it. Like for the cards that are going to be clearly not playable, at least they should have funny upside, and this does.
Okay, next we got the Valera the Hollow.
This card
is exciting.
So first off, as much as I hated the Anduin art, I love this art.
This looks really good.
I really like the art. It's really cool. It's almost like Lady Vash-ish.
Yeah. I think it's a good reference to that.
So I'm pretty sure it's really weak. And my reasoning is this. This is actually the only card I thought about. So I'll at least give them credit that they made me think about the card. It's the only card that, upon seeing it, I had to think about whatsoever. So my problem with it is this. So it does an incremental value effect. So every turn that it's in play, it does something.
Yeah.
And meaning that, it's just going to get linearly more powerful as or even exponentially maybe, right? Depending on what you're able to do. But it's certainly going to get much more powerful each turn after you play this. Meaning that when you play it, it's at its absolute weakest, and then it's get better. So my problem with that is in that world where the game's actually going to go on for multiple turns, like, for 5 more turns after you play this, then why didn't you play a card that did something?
Yeah.
Because in the world where this doesn't save you from death with its battle cry, then this card did absolutely nothing when you played it. Either it's either saves your life from guaranteed lethal, or it did nothing. That's the only 2 options, really. I mean, yeah, I guess you could be at 30 life and have nothing in play, so you prevented a 2-turn clock, or rather you turn like a 1-turn clock into a 2-turn, whatever, right? But that's like almost never going to happen ever. Really, the 2 things this does is either nothing when it comes to play, or it saves you from death. And the problem is, if it saves you from death, then you're only getting one of these shadow reflections, and you have to win right then, basically.
Yep.
I think this card super sucks because of that.
I don't know. I think you really can win.
Why didn't you just play some other card that didn't cost 9 mana then?
Yeah, that's true.
Because you only get 1. You get 1 card. It's 9 mana, draw 1 card.
Yeah.
And granted, it's whatever, like draw a copy of any card in your hand. So obviously that's nice. But like the fact that the battle cry just doesn't synergize with what makes this card strong just leads me to believe it's just not strong. Because in the world where this, really, if the game goes on for 5 turns after you play this, then you literally got 0 value for the battle cry.
Yeah.
And even from the armor, like that also didn't matter.
Yeah, I think I think it will have value enough to see play.
I'm willing to. I'm gonna go out on a limb here because this is one of those very weirdo cards.
Yeah.
But judging what I know, I'm gonna guess this will never be in a tournament deck that wins anything.
I'm gonna guess
Ever.
that it will. I think because it could be say also. I don't know. I think it could save your life. I think that might be worth it. Where a lot of cards can't, or maybe you already played them. Like the cards that you do play, you already have two of. You know what I mean? Like you're
I'm
saying,
gonna
like
give
why didn't I
this.
play that card? But you already have those two. Maybe you did.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up on design just because it's so out of the blue.
It is out of. It also creates a lot of excitement on the turn you play. Like, is she gonna kill me next turn? Like, what do I do? Right?
Yeah, it's
I
very
think it
out of the
does.
blue. I predict that it's gonna do literally nothing and be bad, but
Hmm.
at least it's exciting right now. So,
Okay.
and that was it for
Yeah.
Rogue.
Okay. On to Shaman. Shaman has a very strange synergy. This one, like Taunt with Druid, sort of made sense. This one is Freeze. What?
Free Shaman.
Yeah. I think so. Unrelated to the freeze synergy, I think this card is going to be excellent because Murloc Shaman has been a pretty strong rush deck for a while.
Yeah, this is a nasty little card, and
Yeah.
this is again back to the good stupid humor. I like
Yep.
it.
I love it.
Um, yep, nothing bad to say about this one.
Next up, we got Ice Fishing. Also with that Murloc
Yeah,
thing, this is going to be
um,
crazy.
I think as long as it's okay for a Shaman Murloc deck to be a little bit mid-rangey, then this is really good. If they need to just be brutal rush, all in tempo, then obviously you just can't play a card that doesn't help you with tempo.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the case. But I mean, they have Megafin to help with
You know,
cards.
the best Murloc decks don't play Megafin.
Well, they're gonna. You don't worry about that.
Okay.
Like you don't want to play this with Megafin though, right? Because
Yeah.
they're both doing the same thing, which is sacrifice tempo forward card advantage.
Hmm.
So it's probably just better than Megafin, but I'm gonna remain on the Megafin dream. So
Okay. I think it's great. Now we have the Drakari Defender. Holy dooly. Overload 3.
so the design of this card is pretty lame, I think,
Yeah.
because in my opinion, the overload cards that are interesting are not ones where, hey Bill, look what I did. So we have this mechanic in the game. It's called overload, right? So it means that you kind of have to pay more mana later, but you get a stronger card now. So what I did is I took this card and I gave it 3 more life, and then I made you pay 3 next turn. You see what I did there, Bob? Like that's just not interesting. Like no one cares. Like this might be strong, it might not be. I don't actually care because it's not interesting. To me, interesting overload cards are like, why isn't it like swap life totals with your opponent? Overload 5. Or like
Or even that Elemental Destruction. Like
yeah, that one was a little weird because it was bizarre, right? Like it was a bizarre thing that they did, right? Here, like it's not bizarre, it's not hard to evaluate, it's very straightforward. Like I don't like these vanilla guys with overload that are just overstated. Like Totem Golem is super boring design. It is not a well-designed card, and it's not about the power level. It's just not interesting. That is not why overload should exist. Overload should exist for cards that you can't even tell if the overload's worth it.
Yeah.
Because like what the hell is this even doing? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Overload cards should make you confused, and this does not make anyone confused.
No.
So I don't like it. I mean, maybe it's strong or whatever, but I don't like it.
Now we got the Icebreaker.
Well, I mean, literally, I have nothing to say about this because it's just all about the other cards they printed to force this card to exist.
Yep.
So shrug. I mean, whatever.
All right, now we got Avalanche. This is very strange.
This is a very bizarre card because it's not how an avalanche works.
No. I guess they're turning the minion you freeze into an avalanche. What?
Yeah, he falls on the other minions. Yeah, it should say minion on the right of 2 minions to the left rolls over
Fucking
them.
snowballs.
Yeah, it snowballs over them. Right. Yeah. So bizarre flavor aside, I mean it's stupidly good arena.
Holy moly.
It's just ridiculous. I kind of like the design, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because it actually one of the first cards ever, only like 6 years later, that actually makes you want to position in interesting ways.
Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. I like it. I like
So
it a lot. I think,
yeah,
if Control Free Shaman shows up, you'll probably see this card a lot.
sure,
I think it gets you out of the early game. That's the only reason.
sure.
Now we got the Voodoo Hexer.
Um, yeah, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like so. I mean, I really just don't like any of this crap because it's all so prescriptive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's all going in the same place, which is either in one deck or in the trash can. That's where all this is going.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
make it in on its own.
I don't like any of this stuff for that reason.
Yeah.
I don't like prescriptive. It's not your game ceases to be customizable if it's prescriptive.
Right.
All it is just a bullshit way of selling your game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bullshit way of selling your game either way, but it's just like that's all it is, which makes it way worse if it's like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next we got Cryostasis.
Nah, this is the most bizarre.
I don't know what to think about it. It's got to be bad.
And arena, I'm pretty sure it can be really gross if you just like
Yeah.
coin a 2-drop and then cryostasis it like
Yeah, you like kill whatever they play and then
5/6
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's super bad and constructed.
yeah, crazy bad.
Certainly nothing about this is epic either.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
I don't like. I don't really get the flavor either. Like, so
It
there's
works.
a card. There was a card in Magic when I played a lot, which was called Incubation Chamber, and it pacifism basically. It was blue, green, and 2 mana, so it was 4 mana, and it said target creature can attack or block or activate its abilities. And it had an ability on it. You paid 3 mana and return the Incubation Chamber to its hand, to the owner's hand, and the creature gets +1/+1 twice.
Okay.
That was good flavor on this idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is I freeze you and then you become Austin Powers and somehow you get +3/+3 for that. Even if the minion survived cryostasis,
Yeah.
why would it be stronger?
You got frozen in steroid water. The juice
Oh my
froze
god.
directly into your brain.
So basically,
brain.
cryostasis supplied by Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Yeah. Cryostasis City.
Here we go. Good old 11 cost card.
Yeah, this is strictly they thought of this for evolve. That's the only reason. So you can evolve your giants into something else.
Yep.
They actually said that. A guy said that. I feel like this giant will see play in Wild more than here.
So I actually have a huge problem with this card. Unless I'm mistaken, every giant is universal before this one, right? Other than the honorable mention of Molten Giant being a
universal trash. Yeah. Yes, all the
Well,
other
no,
giants were universal.
yeah. So that's bullshit. You should not ruin that now.
Yeah, well they did.
I really don't like that. I genuinely really don't like that. I wish they just called this something else. Even if they gave it the exact same text. I wish they called this something else and gave it a different picture.
Yeah, I agree. With all the giants are.
I really don't like that. Like that's a problem to me.
Mm-hmm. It's also an elemental, which is weird. It's
How is this?
giants.
Yeah, it's a fucking
So it's not
giant.
a giant. So it should be like fucking Fury of the Elements or whatever.
Yeah,
Cost one less
abominable, whatever the hell.
Abominable Frost Shock Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sad. I think it'll see play in Wild, but it sucks that it ruined the giant.
Yeah, I really don't like it because of that. That's really my only comment, design-wise.
Now we're on the epics, legendaries. We got the Death Seer.
Okay, I've never seen this one. Oh, right, no, yeah, I have seen this one. I
It's
lied.
a super evolve.
Yeah, so he's just all in on Evolve.
Yep.
I really don't care how good this card is. I love Evolve.
Yeah,
It's
I love
sweet.
Evolve too. So get in there.
Yeah, good job.
And then his hero power turns into Evolve.
More Evolve.
Yeah, so great.
Yep, just all Evolve all the day. All right, good.
I don't know.
Good job.
I don't know if this card will ever be good. I don't think it will. It could be though.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. I was trying to see what decks it fits into. I guess every deck.
I mean, it's the Adios Amigo with Doppelgangster on 10, right?
That's true. That's 3 Tyrians. That's gonna be in the troll deck. Oh wait, no, Doppelgangster's 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's the
So
best
you
7
get
one?
I don't have a damn clue what the best 7 drop is.
Yeah,
What's that? Isn't there a card that's like better than Bog Creeper that we're gonna get to? That's like more nasty.
oh yeah.
Can't remember what it is. Oh no, it's not because it's Battle Cry. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you just get 3 Bog Creepers.
Yeah, 3 bog creepers. That'll be the.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 okay, now we're
Yeah.
on to I don't know what.
I mean, literally, my only comment on it from a design perspective is Evolve is the most fun thing they've ever done in Shaman, so just make that on everything, and there you
Yeah. Why doesn't this guy evolve? Whenever a minion gets frozen, evolve it.
go. Evolve it.
Well, we already made a better card.
Right. Yeah, this card, I don't.
Evolve and
Like-
freeze it.
So, like, the idea here is, first off, the art is gorgeous.
Mhm.
So it's super high quality. So I'm sad that this, like, even if this card drew you 2 cards on average, it's actually still crappy.
Yeah, I don't know. If it should be, that's actually what Cryostation should be. It should be, evolve your minion, give it +3/+3, and freeze it.
Yeah, there you go. It's evolve your minion 3 times and freeze it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Murabi, he sucks hella ass.
I mean, I don't know what to say other than, like, this whole thing is so prescriptive that I have very little say about it on a design end. Like, it's just all like put it in the same deck or it's all going in the garbage can. That's all I can say.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick break.
All right, I'm gonna carry on just for the sake of brevity. So, okay, moving on to Warlock. We have a 1/1 for 1 with Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion and gain +2/+2? Question mark. I'm gonna hold off on saying anything about this card because there must be a reason why this exists with something else in the set. Because on its own, this card is really bad. Note, if this was a priest card and you could use shadow spells like Shadow Madness, Potion of Madness, whatever, then it would be gross. But as it is, this card super sucks. So I'm going to assume there's a reason why it exists. Moving on, we have Drain Soul, and again, I apologize that you guys cannot see these cards yet. But Drain Soul is going to be a 2-mana spell with Lifesteal, deal 2 damage to a minion. So it's like better drain life for less mana, which one thing I didn't mention way earlier in this review about power creep is that power creep is totally okay, and in fact encouraged on cards that suck. Again, you should never have cards that suck, but yeah, okay, you're gonna have a few cards that suck. So yes, you should power creep them in order to make them relevant. And that is what this is, and I think this card is pretty good. And I think it's not particularly interesting, but it does what it should do, and I don't have any qualms with it. I also like the art a lot. So now moving on to our next card, we have Howl Fiend, which is a 3-mana 3/6. Whenever it takes damage, discard a random card.
It's back. The king is
So
back.
we're on Howl Fiend, who I just explained what he did, and now I'll explain how I don't like anything about this card in its design, in its power level, just basically anything at all. So part of the thing here, part of the gimmick here is that the developers know they really screwed up with this whole discard Warlock thing because it sucks.
Yep. The quest was so bad.
I mean, the real problem with the Warlock quest isn't that the discard outlets aren't good. Actually, there's a few of them that are very good. The problem is that the reward blows.
Holy does it blow.
So making more discard cards, especially ones that aren't good, it isn't remedying your problem.
Nope.
So there's just nothing to say about this. It's awful.
Yep, sucks all around.
I mean, maybe you could play it in Arena because it'll lose you a card, but it'll also kill 2 of their cards. So it's kind of like, whatever. I mean, if it does that, it's positive tempo, so
Yeah.
it's actually worth playing in that case. But that's in the high case. The low case is
Yeah. Low case is if you get Defile Bops, like the opponent Warlock plays Defile, and
Okay,
it hits like 8
so
times.
this is probably my favorite card in the whole set.
It's wonderful.
The design is fantastic. The way you're like the play dynamics this is going to create is fantastic. The
Yep.
art is awesome. Everything about this card is just A1. I kind of wish that it didn't scale with spell damage, just so there's no way to cheat this, because I think
Yeah.
it's great the way it is. I mean, Warlock doesn't really play spell damage, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But I think even Blood Mage is cheating.
Yeah.
Like there should be no way to cheat with this.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really like it.
Is this like a carbon copy of a Magic card?
You know what? Actually, the card it reminds me most of is the card I designed for Codex called Firehouse.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure
stole
some
from you.
Magic card. I'm sure some Magic card exists that does this though, like from like 10 years ago.
All right, now we got the Unwilling Sacrifice.
Unwilling to put it in your deck. You
Mhm.
mean? So this is another case where they are trying to put garbage in the game. So I'm not really going to review this. This card just obviously sucks. So they don't care. So I don't care. Moving on.
Now we got. I haven't seen this one. I like it.
Either.
I like him. Idea turn.
Uh,
It's sort
so
of a flavor
it
fail
just-
because it doesn't deal 1 to all.
So despicable in terms of you're going to find Hearthstone despicable when your opponent plays this in arena, or
Yeah. Oh god.
is this beatable?
What if he plays 2?
Yeah, it's just is this beatable ever? Because
I
it's at
don't
the
think
end
so.
of their turn. Like
Yeah.
they play this against you, and then they immediately like Twilight Flame Call your board every turn.
Like forever.
What?
Like what
Yeah,
if you get this from like Bane of Doom?
This is directly in the sweet spot of
Yeah.
definitely not good enough for constructed. I don't think,
No way.
and brutal as all hell. In arena.
if you Bane of Doom someone in arena and you get this guy, they're gonna like throw their
They're
computer
gonna scoop
at
They're
you.
gonna scoop.
It's gonna like
They're-
meteor smash through the sky. Here
Yep.
comes their computer. What have I done to this person?
Yes.
But it's too slow for constructed. Like the turn 5, it's probably not relevant anymore, and you're just gonna die. And versus like a slow mid-range deck, like the 1 damage won't do enough.
Honestly, this is so powerful. I couldn't even see constructed
Yeah,
play.
it's close though. I'm not trying to downplay it. It's just crazy. It's so crazy how good it is in arena.
Yeah.
Maybe it just makes it in, just
Yeah,
because of how crazy it is in arena.
Yeah. I don't like the design because I just don't like where the power is.
Yeah.
But...
And now we have whenever.
Oh no! Actually, we don't have a card. Moving on. We have treachery.
Come on.
Nope.
On.
No, I refuse. Okay, I mean, I guess I can explain something. No. I'm not. No, because the last time I had this conversation about removing a card from a deck with somebody, it was an hour-long conversation about shenanigans, shall we say?
Oh.
And
I know the history of that. Sorry.
yeah.
It's
So we're actually we're done. Moving
it's
on.
a blank 2/3 that's not even a demon. So,
It's actually a 2/3 with no text.
Yep.
So they made a vanilla 2/3 as a class card. Congratulations.
You did it. Okay, treachery. This card could be hilarious. I'm sure this.
So
is...
my problem with this card is that it's just too obvious. Like Magic has had this effect twice, and in both cases, it did exactly one thing, which was you gave an opponent a card that said they lose the game, literally. One of them was they lose 20 life, and the other one was they lose the game. Those are the two cards. So here, obviously, they're not going to make you lose the game, but the point still remains where there's just nothing clever about using this card ever. There's never a interesting or tricky situation. It's always a 2-card combo, and that's when you play it, and otherwise you never play it. So a card that does literally nothing, worse than nothing on its own, and will only be played with a specific card that obviously is meant to be paired with, just that's not interesting.
Wouldn't it be better if it was like swap 2 minions?
Yeah, that would definitely
friendly
be
and
better.
one of your minion and an enemy minion. You swap.
I mean, it'd have to be more expensive because that'd be really strong.
Yeah.
That'd have to be 6 mana, I'd say. But yeah, that would be sweet. And then the card would do something on its own.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah, I just don't like the design.
No. All right, now we have
The dumpster fire.
yeah, the dumpster fire.
It's
Oh my God.
really consistent with their design for legendary cards.
That is so sad that you said that. That is just. I'm
So
hanging my
this,
head in
this
shame.
expansion, this expansion is called Shout Out to the Free to Play players because they actually are looking out for you by making all of the legendaries just literally unplayable garbage.
Yeah. If you were saving up for Pirate Warrior, craft that now because it's gonna dominate for a while as people try to make new decks and they just get destroyed by Pirate Warrior because they're
Yep.
like, oh, well, you gotta try cards
And my
first before
blood,
you know it's
my blood
bad.
queen Lanathel. I mean, I'm gonna stack it up. It's gonna be a 10-6 for 5 with no other text.
Yeah, it's life
Oh.
steal.
Whoa. Yeah, this card just super sucks. If you don't like, there's nothing to say about this.
No,
It sucks.
yeah, goodbye. And now we have okay.
Whoa, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, I haven't either, and no one else did because when they were doing the reveal stream, Brian Keebler managed to have 10 cards in his hand and he burned it.
That's
Good job.
awkward.
Well played. Anyway, so it has a super powerful effect. It costs 10. Like, compare this one to Jaina. Jaina's the shit. This
Oh
thing
my
could
God.
summon, like...
Wait, which is better? So for one more mana, would you like to summon maybe 25 worth of stats or 3-6?
I'd,
How much you want to bet? I haven't looked at the hero power yet. How much you want to bet the hero power is better too?
I think I would bet my life savings. That's like $100.
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
bit better.
we did it! We did it! Give me my
A
money.
little bit better.
Give me my $100.
A little bit better.
Oh, boy.
my God. So this
Beautiful.
card's the McNasty. This is the kind of finisher you want in a control deck.
It's extremely powerful. If there's a control warlock who plays a bunch of demons, here he is. Now that card that's like put all your demons from your hand into play, and you're like, haha, I just get rid of them all with Twisting Nether. Well, guess what? They're back.
Actually, it
And
still
you
sucks because that guy requires Reno rules.
Oh,
so-
right, he's Reno rules. Yeah, so.
Yep,
I mean,
so he still sucks.
if he was a real card,
Yeah, if he was a real card, it'd be sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, this card is awesome. I don't know if it's actually good, but I like the design. It's really cool.
yeah.
I like these Mass Resurrect cards that are flavorful to the class turn.
Yep. I
Yeah,
think
they're
it's
fun.
great. I think they really nailed it on this Death Knight. If so,
I mean, the thing is, this isn't even a Death Knight though. It's just a Warlock. Like, there's
it's
nothing
just
Death Knight.
this regular Gul'dan.
Yeah, it's literally just Gul'dan. Yeah.
The story is he never becomes a Death Knight. He's just a jerk.
He's already more powerful than a Death Knight anyway. Like, who cares?
So I will say, so you might not see this expansion in a tournament, winning a tournament, but
Probably not, but
Yeah.
it's not even outside the realm.
yeah, the potential is there. If there was more Warlock control, you would see this would be in it like right away.
Yep.
So it's very powerful, but it just might not have the support.
Yep.
All right, now we're on to Warrior.
And it's also worth noting one thing. If there was ever a time Warlock wanted to change its hero power, it's by the time they could play a slow 10 drop.
Oh yeah, especially then they probably only have like 6 cards left, and they want to
Right,
hit your face.
and also they would love to heal with their new hero power. So.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's amazing how much they hit that one out of the park.
Yep.
And-
Compared to all this trash,
Yeah, it's got to be different people
it has to be.
with no oversight over any of them.
Just automatic accept.
There's no
Remember
there's
went
no
to Hawaii
oversight.
for the design of this set, and he just put everything on auto accept.
All right, now we got the animated Berserker.
All right, we're on Warrior. This card's the McNasty sauce.
Yeah, it's sweet. I love the
really
design
like-
of it.
Yeah, I really like it because it's a card that's relevant on every turn of the game.
Mhm.
And it does what Warrior wants.
Mhm.
It's
I think
really
it's sweet.
Yep.
And it also, a lot of the Pirate Warrior deck, all those minions have 1 health, or some have low health. So you have to make your deck differently if you want to try and rush down with this thing.
Oh no, you're doing this for value. You're playing this and then immediately playing Acolyte of Pain or whatever,
Yeah, I think it's sweet.
or Grim Patron in Wild, which is
Yeah.
scary as hell.
I think it's great.
If you have this, it's only when you play a minion.
When you
okay,
play
so
him,
I'm gonna-
not summon. If it
Yeah,
was
so it's
summon, it
not
was just like fill your board.
it's not the pylon to infinity and
That's
beyond.
sad. Why not?
No,
It's
although if
wild.
you have two of them, and then you play that, that's still gross
Hmm.
because you immediately like get a patron for each berserker you have in play. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Now we have the Forge of
I haven't
Souls.
seen this.
Now, the other two costs draw multiple things like Roll the Bones and Ice Fishing. Those were great. I think this one's actually not good.
Addendum in arena just scoop.
Oh yeah, in Arena you're brutally owning them. Probably.
I think this makes warrior literally jump an entire tier in arena.
Mm-hmm. For reference, set straight in the trash to you could you could maybe win 7 games.
Yeah, maybe once in a while you'll win more than 2.
But yeah, the thing about weapons is like having a bunch in your hand sucks.
It's not good. Yeah.
So that's why this sucks. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess there's sort of like a synergy thing, but again, it's that idea where why are you putting a bad card in your deck to synergize with a bad card?
Yeah, it is not good. I don't really like the design, although I think it's good that it helps arena where warriors desperately need help.
So next card. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I lost my glasses. Looks like Deathbite. Hold on, let me just put them on. Oh.
Surprise. Yeah. Okay,
How-
Deathbite was too good, so I don't mind the reverse
Yeah.
power creep. But wow, man. I mean, this might actually even get played because it seems like Whirlwind Warrior's back in charge with that one drop and now this.
Yep.
But yeah, no one's excited about this. I don't like the design because it's just really boring.
Mm-hmm. It is the common, so I'm sure it'll be great in arena.
Yeah, it's totally fine in arena.
Yep. Oh well. All right, now we got the Mountain Fire Armor.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about. They managed to design a vanilla 4/3, and they called it a class card and made it a rare.
Yep.
This card
Yeah.
has no text,
Yeah.
unless you can give a taunt. But even if you can give a taunt, was it worth it? Like, what are you giving a taunt with? Argus, I guess?
Like, wouldn't you want to give something better taunt? Like, couldn't you find something
Yeah,
better?
give Ancient Watcher taunt, maybe,
Yeah.
if you're going to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somehow Argus is worth playing in a warrior deck, then you would never want to play this because this card does nothing. I really don't like the design of this one. As much as I liked the design of the ghoul guy and just wish the power was higher,
Mm-hmm.
I hate the design of this guy.
Yeah. He just
So-
does not do. I can sort of see the idea what they wanted to make him do, but
It doesn't do that.
no, it doesn't do it. Because aggro, just ignore it. Like, whatever, hit my face for 4, dude. We'll race.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll race faster.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Now we got one that's a bit more fun. It's everyone get ghoul here.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally just Acolyte of Pain, except first off 1/4 instead of 1/3, which is relevant.
Mhm.
And instead of drawing a random card, you are playing a 0 mana 2/2.
Mhm.
It's very strong.
Yep. It's sweet.
I mean, it's pretty lazy design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not very inspired. But I mean, if you're trying to push an archetype, whatever, that's fine.
Mhm.
Really, really lovely art.
Yeah, it looks great. It'll be fun to play with, and it makes. I think it hits like sort of every one of their things. Like, you want to build your deck with the same sort of theme, which is fun for a lot of people. It'll be good in arena. I don't know the thing. I don't think it'll be good enough in constructed to win anything.
Nah, it might be.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think so though. The ghoul art's actually pretty cool. It looks funny.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, now we have the Death Revenant.
Oh, what?
I haven't seen this.
Where's
so-
the part where it's like a 5/5 to start?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't have my glasses on, but I think it says 3/3 at the bottom.
Looks like it says garbage. That's his power and health.
Straight in the bin. I mean,
Yep.
what are you gonna say? I mean, this card is not this entire card hinges on what you set that base stats to be.
Mhm.
They chose to make this card trash.
That you know what? If it costed 3, maybe we're
Oh,
getting somewhere.
I mean, no, it would be ridiculous if it cost 3.
Why not? Whatever.
Well, no, that would be too good. I think it should just be a 3-4, and I'd be almost sold on it.
Yeah.
But 3-3 is too small. And there's just nothing interesting to say about the design because literally, like I was saying, the design of this just completely stems on what stats you give it.
Yep. Oh well. All right, now we got the Dead Man's Hand.
Well, my favorite card name so far.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Shout out to anyone who knows what the Dead Man's Hand is.
yeah. I think it's the 2/7 because you can't win offsuit.
No, it's not.
I know what it's. I actually do
Aces
know what
and
it
eights.
is. Yes, I know.
Anyway, yeah, this card is really interesting. So, I don't know that it's good at all. I mean, in fact, it's pretty much exclusively good in a control on control fatigue style game where now instead of fatigue versus fatigue, it's oops, I totally destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely super garbage outside of that. So that's kind of interesting that they made a card that's so fringe. But I don't mind that. I don't mind if there's a really fringe card, especially at the higher rarity, so it won't like pollute Arena too much.
Yeah, it won't pollute Arena. Also, because of how fringe it is, you could just put one of in your deck. Like maybe it's sort of interesting to see like, can I survive with just one of these for the upside of destroying in control, right? In late game control decks. You know?
I think it just depends on the meta looks. You could see this card in decks, or you could see it so far in the trash bin that you forgot it existed.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna forget it exists. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's most likely, but
yeah. All right.
I mean, honestly, all the control cards look better than the aggro ones so far. So unless the neutrals are gonna go big on the aggro, then we might actually.
Well, they're all.
Oh yeah, this one. So this wins the award for I think the worst design card. And my least favorite.
Dude, it's
first off, please don't reference Bring It On. Just please. I've been traumatized enough by having to see that movie at random points in my life. So please, just already, I hate it. I already hate it for that reason.
Dude, it's a trap. Here's the play. So turn 4, you gain 20 life, and the next turn they play all their minions, and you brawl, and you dance all the way to the bank.
Wow. Where you're actually, in that case, probably card neutral because you paid 2 cards to do nothing.
And they obviously have a hand of 10 cards that are all minions.
That are all minions.
They played the ball.
And they were all 4 drops. Yeah. So I hope that the people watching this, I mean, assuming the people watching this are probably more experienced people, especially to make it this far into the review, where you don't need me to explain why this card's garbage. But I'm trying to even figure out what they were hoping for with the design of this card, and I just don't like. They have to know it's garbage too.
Yep.
So what were they even thinking? It sucks.
All I guess is the memes where you misplay and dump your whole hand.
Like again, I really think this is another malicious card.
Yep.
Where they're trying to say "fuck you" for buying our product, you idiot. Don't buy our product.
Is this the same one as we go to Rotface? Is that the same idea?
Oh, here we go.
Don't.
Oh my, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, this is like the second best legendary I've seen so far.
Oh God!
It's unbelievable how bad they've been. This one sucks.
To make this one in the upper tier of them.
Yeah, it's upper tier, but it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll at least be funny. So again, for the dank memes, it's.
I'll put it in my if I rip one, I'll put it in my deck. Whatever.
I mean, look, you're gonna get some guy who plays Rot Face with that brawler thing in play, immediately gets another Rot Face, plays Whirlwind, gets 2 more Rot Faces, plays Whirlwind again,
gets 8 more Rot Faces.
Right, 8 more. Yeah, it starts summoning Rot Faces to the opponent's side of the board. What the hell happened there?
Rot Faces for everyone.
Yep. So I mean, honestly, like. This card even could be a fringe playable in that deck. I don't think so, but it wouldn't even blow my mind if it was.
Yeah. It's just sad.
It's certainly not good in any sort of normal sense. All right, I haven't seen this one yet.
All right. The Scourge Lord. I do not like the art, first of all. I don't
I
like
like
that
it more
much.
than goddamn Anduin.
Yeah, I think it's better than Anduin, but I think it's still low tier.
I mean, that's not saying much, right?
Yeah, I think the weapon it gives, the cleave weapon, that's pretty nasty.
So, the reason the paladin weapon was good is because it had lifesteal, and that's kind
Yeah.
of what you want at that specific stage of the game.
Hmm.
Like where you have a low tempo play, you kind of want healing to help you make up that tempo,
Hmm.
because you're kind of gonna get hit in the face when you play something like this.
Yeah.
I predict that the weapon's not gonna be that good because the difference between 4 and 5 is very big.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be okay, but it's certainly not exciting.
No.
And then the hero power,
The
no,
blade storm.
nope. So there's
Yeah,
no
it's the
way
opposite.
that deck that's gonna play all that whirlwind stuff wants an 8 drop. There's
Like
just
this.
no way. Yeah,
They
no
want
way.
a minion to blade storm. Like the blade storm here, like it's so late in the game that you want the armor up. You don't want this anymore. You probably
I
wanted
just don't know
blade
what to
storm
say.
earlier. Yeah.
It's just not what you want. It's just not good.
No. That's sad. Sorry, Scourge
All right.
Lord.
Moving on. Oh shit! Best card in the set.
Yeah, well, power creep is insane. OP. How could
Anyone ever beaten a penguin before?
I personally beat penguins in Canada constantly?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's where they're from, right? Canada.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go a little speedier on these neutrals because a lot of these are a lot less interesting.
Yeah.
So unless they're particularly interesting, we're not really gonna say much.
Sucks.
Archerist veteran, really good in arena.
Yeah.
Really good.
Could
But
it
yeah,
make it
whatever.
in a zoo
If there's
deck?
like a zoo deck, maybe, but zoo's kind of dead.
Yeah. It's close.
Yeah.
Then we got the Dread Scale Knight.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Moving
Goodbye.
on. What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
Oh,
Oh, it's
like Leopard
not
Gnome, I guess?
not good at
No.
all. It's terrible. Don't play this card.
Yeah, that's sad.
Moving on.
Fallen Sun credit. Ugh.
No.
No.
Nope. Moving on.
Sad. Tainted Zealot.
Whoa, what?
Hey! I hadn't seen this one. Huh.
This card's sweet.
Yeah. Wow. Divine Shield and
Yeah.
spell damage. That's actually really very powerful. You might see this.
I mean, you'd want it after Thalnos, but
Mm.
in arena, it's gonna be really good in like Shaman decks, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, it might not be good enough to get past Bloodmaid Thanos. Because if you just want
No, it's
Thanos,
not.
you probably not. Yeah. Oh well. If you don't have Thanos, then there's your replacement.
There you go.
Tuskar Fisherman. Give a minion spell damage?
That's
what?
strong because it's got normal arena stats.
Yeah.
Again, it's gonna be really good in Shaman,
Hmm.
probably Mage. Yeah, none of these cards are like constructed though. They don't really. The thing is, they don't really care about these cards too much, like the neutral commons. So we're not gonna really.
Yeah.
This card, the Arena Runer.
Yeah, Death Speaker. This guy is gonna smash. You know, I could see him making it to constructed.
I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be stunned.
Yeah. It's probably still not good enough.
So think about this. There is a hunter-only epic with worse stats than this that gives only a beast immune for the turn.
Yeah.
This is better stats, neutral, and affects anything.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is a sweet spotter.
Yeah.
Now we have the Nerubian Prophet with downside.
This card, it's gonna be really good when you coin it out in arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I think pretty much you just do your attacks and then play it, and it'll be great, and it won't have a downside.
Yeah, or just like I said, coin it out and you're just winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of these are remotely near constructed though, so whatever.
Yeah. The Vrygul. Why is it worse than Eggnapper?
Think about how much worse this is than Eggnapper.
Like 10,000 times worth? Or
Why does it exist? It's just because they want to make bulk. Again, I'm not going to comment on it because it's just bulk garbage.
Yeah. They got the Shambler.
I hate neutral cards that talk about weapons. It pisses
Yeah.
me off. Just don't do that. Like, don't make neutral cards that talk about weapons. Like, just don't.
Because that's not really neutral.
That's not neutral at all.
Yeah.
That's literally a third of the class in the game or whatever.
Yeah. So whatever. The Grim Necromancer. Power
Wow.
creep.
Yeah, power friggin' creep. It's pretty strong though.
Yep.
Not very grim looking though. Very happy necromancer.
That's true. Skeleton. Is this? That's not a collectible.
That's the thing. No, that's a yeah.
The Howler. Hey.
This card's not good at all.
No.
Yeah, nothing to say about it.
The Wicked Skeleton.
What on earth?
Whoa.
That card is so bad.
Yeah.
If it costs 2 mana, it would be scary.
Yep. Now it sucks. Oh well.
This is the worst card.
What? The Wicked Skeleton?
No, Bloodworm?
Bloodworm?
What is this garbage? Why do they understat these lifesteal guys? Is there something I don't understand about lifesteal?
No, it's literally just terrible to understand it.
Like, it doesn't affect the board at all.
No, it should just be a 5/5.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or like a 4/5 maybe, right?
Yeah. Okay, now this is gonna be a smash.
Yeah,
Smash
what
hit.
is this? Look at that last fucking card and look at this.
They cost the same. Do they?
Dude,
do
there's
they
no
give
way
the same effect?
there's no way the same people designed these two cards. It's just not possible.
I feel like so the Bloodworm guy also designed minions for Beta Magic the Gathering. And this guy is from Modern.
No. This is the guy that guest designed Time Walk and Ancestral Recall.
Oh man, it's gonna be sweet in Arena. It's a dragon, Dragon Priest is sort of always on the fringe. It can be very dangerous, so maybe.
This could get played and constructed.
Yeah, yeah.
This card is just ridiculous. How is this a common?
It's,
I don't want to play against this all the time in Arena. This should be a fucking rare.
Dude, Priest is gonna be the nasty business. We got the Skelemancer.
This might be my favorite art.
Oh. Please.
I mean, this card, the name of the game is... See, this one makes sense as a give it taunt thing, because the reward's actually there.
Yeah. Or it's like, it's sort of, you can hose stuff like Flame Strike or Blizzard or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you play... It's,
Yep.
I think that's fun.
really like this one.
Yeah.
This is my favorite neutral card so far.
They did a great job.
Worth noting that in Arena is very risky, because if they don't have an AoE spell, then you played a 5-mana 2/2.
Yep.
And
they're never going to kill.
Like, it's just going to poke at them for 2.
Alright, now we got the Sunborn Valkyr. I think this is worse than the heal one for Najatar.
Well, this can overheal, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually better?
It is, yeah. But, I don't know.
I was wondering where the obligatory titty monster was in the set, and we found it.
And now we got the Venomancer. Not venomous.
Right. This card's actually pretty scary in Arena.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again,
playable
not,
too
yeah,
weak.
not interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Now I got the Necrotic Geist.
So this is the same problem as that other Geist card, the
Yeah.
Rogue one, where, like, this card wants defensive stats, and it has really offensive stats, so it sucks.
Yep. Oh well. Spellweaver.
They keep doing spell damage +2. It sucks.
Yeah, the Evolved Kobold actually made it into a few decks. But this costs way too much.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Then there's it. It's
This
literally
is the-
over.
It's the bone time.
It's so literally
Please bone me.
you're like, if you play Arena, just look at this card a lot, because it's all you're about to see.
Yeah, it should be Battlecry give a friendly minion bone time, and that's what bone time is.
Yeah, so it's like a surprise the first time you
Surprise bone time.
discover. Yeah. This card is just unreal.
Can it make it into constructed?
Yes, because it's in that category. I mean, I'm not saying it will, but it can, because it's 7 mana for 9/9 of stats with taunt, and it's over 2 bodies. Like, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's crazy.
It's just ridiculously. Why is this a common? This should be an epic.
What if it was a common though? Arena is just gonna be all over the place this one, because you're gonna have that fucking immune guy destroying people, and it's just gonna be Arena's
People
gonna be
getting
a
boned
mess.
all over.
Yeah, like it. Maybe it'll be better because class parity is slightly better now. Like, I didn't really see too many arena crushers in class cards. I saw a few,
Yeah.
but whatever. But now everyone can have bone mares. You could just have 100 bone mares in your deck, and you're the best.
Yep.
So
That doesn't matter where you're playing the bone mare class.
maybe that's what it is. Okay, now we got the priest class.
What is this?
You're not happy to see the happy ghoul?
So when it says was healed, that means actual. It should say gained life, right? Not healed.
Yep.
Like it's actually worded badly.
It is, yeah.
Because I could quote unquote heal my hero at 30 life, and this won't work.
Right.
But I healed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, their word. It's rare for me to have a problem with their wording. Actually, I actually commend them on their wording for the most part. But I really don't like the wording on this card.
Yeah. Neither do I. Because it sort of
it's
lies
just
to
if you're
you.
here. Yeah, because it's just not quite accurate. That being said, what? This card's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, it's going to lead to ridiculous blowouts in Arena.
Yep.
And then it's even, like, what? This card's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm scared of this thing.
Yeah. You're not going to be happy to see it, that's for sure. Now we got the Mindbreaker.
I mean, this guy just doesn't do enough. Like, his effect is interesting, but he needs more. He should also have, like, can't be targeted by spells. So, like, a deck that's relying on, like, spells and hero powers doesn't work, right?
I love his art.
Yeah.
He looks like the Mindbreaker. He's breaking my mind staring at him. He cost 3, so I think he'll be strong in Arena.
I mean, it would be strong in Warrior, where they already don't have one, so it's
They
strict
have
upside.
hero power, yeah, it destroys theirs, yeah. Now we got the Shallow Gravedigger. I think this one's Arena only. And it's reasonable.
Oh, yeah, it's really good in Arena. Really, really good. Except against the best 2 classes that got better.
Yep.
But, you know.
That's okay. I think it'll be great in Arena, yeah. Now we have the Keening Banshee.
I'm really confused. Wasn't this like a 8/8 for 5 last time we saw it?
Yeah, last time we saw it.
So whenever you play a card.
Yeah.
Oh. That's still like the upsides here is not good.
No.
It might be fine in an aggro deck as the curve topper because you're not going to go through your whole deck.
No.
Although you actually could go through your whole deck in an aggro deck because you're going to play like 4 cards a turn. But I don't like this card. I don't like this design. It's so all or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right, now we got the Phantom Freebooter. It's a pirate. Is it going to go on my pirate deck? No. This is back to the pirates being shit, I think.
Well, the problem is that most of the good high-attack weapons have really low durability.
Yeah, so it just doesn't...
Which is the problem. It's very rare for a good durability weapon, which is what you need with this card.
Yep.
If it just had game plus based on its power, then this card would be unreal, right?
Yeah.
Upgrade your Arcanite Reaper and then play this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if it was just gain the attack, your weapon is stats, but it doesn't. So it's just like a salty dog. It was cheaper. So, oh well. I've got the Serenite Chain Gain.
Compare this to that Druid spell that makes 1/5s.
It's so much better. It's unreal as a neutral. A neutral rare is better than a class card. Class cards are supposed to be like higher power, right? They're supposed to be
because they're supposed to be what defines that class and makes it unique to the other classes. And instead, here's this.
I think it'll be sweet in Arena.
I mean, it's just a good card, I think.
Oh, does it help for Warrior Quest?
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll probably make it into, if you're playing Quest Warrior, probably play this.
I don't see why you wouldn't just play this card.
Yeah, it's just great.
It's just like inherently efficient. Oh, here we go. The first card that you could donate. Wink, wink. Yeah,
this is oh God.
Hint: don't ever donate this card. You will lose.
This is the first card they revealed. Like, come on. Yet you picked
Yeah,
this?
I don't know. I don't know about this thing. I don't like it.
No, I don't think it's good enough.
I don't like it at all. I don't even really like it in arena very much.
No, I think it's the drawback's just too much.
I mean, there's times where it'll be good in arena, but there's also a lot of times where you just can't play it.
Yeah. Now we got the Corpse Razor.
This card's really bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, so I haven't really touched on the design of much of these because there hasn't been much to say. But this one, like, when you have look at the dynamics of this card. So this card is basically a spell. Like they basically made a spell, right? Because a 5-mana 3/3 is so irrelevant. Like think Antique Healbot, which like the only reason that was sort of relevant is because the effect it did was strictly anti-aggro, so 3/3 could actually trade with aggro, but this is a value effect, and it can't trade with any value thing, and it also doesn't apply pressure.
Just gets eaten.
To things like that. Like they don't like if it's control versus control and you play this, they don't care that you play this. So you literally just got the effect. You didn't get any stats really. So why is it even a creature? I guess because they want to be neutral. Does it have to be neutral? Couldn't this just be like a warlock spell for 2 that says Death Rattle resummon? I guess isn't that literally a shaman card already? So this card already exists, shaman card. So just don't make it. Congratulations.
Yeah. It sucks. Now we got another dragon, the Bone Drake. I think you're gonna get boned by it.
This is so unreal in arena. It's just not fair.
Because the dragons are like you're getting fucking Onyxia, Deathwing.
Syndragosa now. Game over.
Syndragosa.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Even the low roll isn't even that bad. This fairy dragon.
They're just all good. Like pretty much.
I think if Dragon Priest comes back, which it could now, this will be in there.
Yeah. I think this card could just see play randomly because it's just so efficient.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Now we got the Drakari Enchanter. This is your boob card. This is the real one.
What does this even interact with?
That's that priest +1/+1.
Oh baby. Yeah, that's a curve for you. I mean, if you ever do that, someone's gonna do that in arena, and the opponent's literally gonna concede.
They have to. They just got like a 3/7. Yeah.
They finally gave us that soul priest thing for real.
Yep.
They finally did it.
So, racking my brain, I don't know what end of turn effects this could combo with.
Yeah, I don't even know what's in the game, dude, for this to work.
It has good stats for its cost.
It has good stats for living.
Yeah, and this is what you want from it. So I
feel based on the other design, this should be a 5/1.
Yeah. So it could make it into a deck, and there could be a deck that features this.
Dude, it's really good in Wild with Power Bombing. It dies twice.
With the Death Rattle?
Yeah.
That's OP. So I don't know. Maybe it could. But I like the effect, and I like how you could build around it. I think I like it.
It's unique.
Yeah. Now we got the Corpse Taker. The wrong name. This is actually the friendly mimic.
Yeah, it's actually... Yeah, so... jokingly said when we saw this card at first, shouldn't it do this effect based on what's died? Because it's the Corpse Taker. But what do I know, right? I mean, I'm just some random guy. I'm not a professional that gets paid, like $100,000 to do this. So I mean, that just to me just shows how little thought they put into it, because it just literally, its name literally makes no sense. And don't try to tell me it does, because you're wrong, and it doesn't. So thank you.
This could be. I think this is more. I feel like the restrictions around it are too onerous. Like I feel like it's Paladin only. And you just don't have Wind Fury.
No, you play it in your Alakir.
Oh yeah, Alakir. Alakir makes it into a couple decks.
One-man show. I mean, it just turns these on pretty much except the lifesteal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd play 4-mana 3/3 Taunt Divine Shield Wind Fury, I think.
Yeah, I would too. If there's a good lifesteal card, I guess it would make it in too.
The problem is, again, this is like not interesting though. It's not. It's
Yeah.
just prescriptive. It's not. I don't like cards that tell me put this other thing in your deck and it'll be great. I like it when it's just less direct.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you'll probably see it. It's very powerful, depending on how you build around it, I guess. Whatever. Okay. Now we got the Death Axe Punisher. He does no punishing at all. Zero punishing.
Actually, he's pathetically weak.
Yeah. He's more like the Death Axe weak
Buffer.
buffer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited buffer.
Death Axe support.
Yeah. That. Like, look at his art. Look how awesome he's being. Like, he's the undead warrior for the Horde. He's got the Arcanite Reaper. He's dual wielding them.
He's got the friggin' gladiator shoulders from season
he looks like he's
4.
gonna get in there. He looks like a cleave minion to me. Like, he's gonna go in there and start cleaving, and he just does not. He's like the Grime Street. Here's a gun. I'm gonna give a gun to
He's the
your guy.
he's the whiz bang Axe 7.
Yeah, the whiz bang Axe 7. That's way worse.
Yeah, way worse.
So this guy is just
This
F on all
is an
fronts.
F. This is just F.
I just
Super
wanted to
lazy
stop.
design.
I just wanted to stop because it's an F on all fronts.
Yep.
Now we got the Meat Wagon, also my nickname in high school.
Yeah, no, I was saying it's my invitational card.
I think this is cool.
I like it. I like it as a bad build around that people will try.
Yeah. I think it's sort of like a fun. I think it's bad because it's so weak, but if you wanted it to be good, maybe you'd start it at like 7.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about all that.
Yeah, I guess it's really good with power overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, now we got the Rattling Rascal. I think it's kind of funny.
I mean, I really like the idea, but I wish it was a little bit better. Like, either the front side was better, or the downside was less punishing.
I think the front side has to be a bit better. Maybe if this guy wasn't so weak.
He was like a 2/5, actually harder to kill.
Yeah. Then he'd be exciting. But now he's just too easy to kill, and now you just get value right back. Like, it doesn't get you any value.
Well, you play donate.
Yeah, that's.
But of course, that's just not good enough.
All right, now we got the Lurker. Lurking your tombs for all your minions. See, this guy is like the Corpse Taker, but...
Yeah, but he makes sense.
Yeah, so they did it on this guy, but how come they fucked it up with the Corpse Taker?
Because they just generic naming guy who they pay minimum wage. He got pissed that day.
He did Tomb Lurker first, and then
yeah. Then later in the day, they were like, "Hey, you gotta stay overtime and finish this." He's like, "Fuck it."
I feel like he sucks.
Oh, he's super terrible.
So bad. That's sad. He should. Why does it cost 4?
Because they hate you.
Oh, here's the combo. Here's the warrior combo.
Yeah, by combo you mean
Turn 10.
6 for 6?
No. Turn 10. Draw 2 weapons. Draw 2 weapons. Get in there.
And then your hand of 5 other weapons in this.
I don't know. He's very weird.
What is this name? What does this have to do with weapons, really?
Because that's what you're powering the furnace with. Everyone knows that you power furnaces with weapons. Weapons are very flammable.
Oh man.
Boy. Now we got...
Oh, no. All right, so I'm gonna translate this. This is written in another language for some reason. So what it says is it's actually a really long text. I'm surprised they fit this on the card. I guess that's why they use the alternate language. It says, "We are so sorry about Jade Idol," which was called by one garbage review host, CWheezy and BigTime, as the best card in the set, which was completely correct. And this card reads, "We are very, very sorry about Jade Idol. In fact, we are so sorry. We are going to make this terrible, unplayable card to pretend that we are addressing the problem, even though the problem will persist just as much because you can never put this card in your deck." That is its entire text box.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah, Lothab, is that you? Because sure don't seem like you're as strong as you used to be.
Hold on, let me put on my glasses. It looks like him. I gotta
this
look
card,
closer.
this card sucks.
Yep. You could probably extend that. It sucks.
It
Goodbye.
really just sucks. Whatever.
Oh, now we're on the
Nope. Nope.
legendaries.
Nope. 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 Nope.
It's a
Nope.
build
Nope.
around.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
As I
Nope.
was
Nope.
told,
Nope. Nope.
this is a build around card. You can't judge it on its own without seeing all the other cards. Well, we've seen most of them,
Uh,
and guess what? It's
turns
just as
out
bad
that
as when it's released.
two cost cards are kind of important.
Yeah, there are
And
like
here's the other thing. So, it's it says that this is your only two cost card. You got your minions buff. Any minion based deck is gonna want like a lot of like 2 drops.
it's gonna want all of them.
So, yeah, if you honestly think this card's any good, just
You really need to reevaluate what's going on because two
you
cost
just-
cards
you're
are
just
so
clueless.
powerful. And if if it was minions, maybe we see it or something. Maybe it has a place. But it's like no fiery war axe, no everything. Like I don't know.
No Frostbolt. Like, I bet we could name a card in each class that auto DQs this. from-
Equality.
Yeah, no equality, no fiery war axe, like you said, no Frostbolt,
No crackling
No.
razor maws.
yeah, no crackling razor maw,
No eviscerates.
no eviscerate, no wild growth or wrath. Yeah, good luck with that.
No
um,
burlock or ice fishing.
Yeah. What does Shaman actually have it to? Besides, like, just everything.
They used to have crackle.
Oh no, they have both their weapons, J Claw and Spell Claw.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Rip.
yeah.
Yeah, goodbye.
You gotta remember. So, like, think about this compared to the Mistcaller. The
Mhm,
Mistcaller actually had less of a drawback than this,
mhm.
and it gave it to the ones in your hand, and was super garbage.
Yeah.
This has more of a drawback. Doesn't even give us the ones in your hand. Like,
Oh yeah, I just noticed he doesn't give it to the ones in your hand. I was like, what? Why would that? That doesn't make any sense at all.
this card
Oh.
fucking sucks.
All right, then we get his older brother. Tal'Dorei.
Okay, this one's a bit of a different story.
Mhm.
Granted, I think this is like super fringe. You probably
Mhm.
don't play it, but the upside's there because a clone effect for that cheap is actually.
Yeah, clone effect for that cheap is very, very powerful. I could see it in Rogue using it for Leroy Reach or something.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like you really have to look at the cost, but like this one actually has real upside,
Yeah. A
and the
clone effect
cost
for
is
that much.
way less. The cost is way less.
Mhm.
3 drops are way less common or like downright ubiquitous than 2 drops.
Yeah, and it doesn't kill you if you have to draft in an arena, but the other Prince Kelefest does.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Now we got Arphis. So, we're probably gonna have to have Death Knight cards up on like a different tab
Yeah, who knows?
because Death Knight cards are actually very good. So
It's really weird that this is a legendary though for like a normal, like, this is like Cabal Courier style,
yeah,
but it's
so
a legendary.
Death Knight cards are we got Frostmourne, which is very powerful. Army of the Dead, Doom Pact.
Yeah, we're not gonna go over all of these, but
Mhm.
you know what's ironic about all these is like this could just be the Death Knight class that they should have made.
Yep, that could have been. They're probably too good.
Well, yeah, but you obviously tone them down. Oh, does Death Grip mind control minion?
No, absolutely not. It's the worst. It's actually the low roll. It's
Oh.
a super low roll.
Dude, I still think that'd be funny just because as an inside joke for people that played WoW. So Death Grip just brings an enemy to you.
Mhm.
So the idea is like, wait, that's not. But wait, no, this is a card game. That doesn't do what you think it does. Wait, you just stole my minion. And on top of that, Death Knight used to be brokenly powerful in WoW, so it'd be also funny if it mind controlled for like 2 mana. But
Oh well.
oh well.
It's a 2 mana bad draw one. It's very confusing because all the other cards look like extreme power.
Right.
Maybe have a drawback, right? they're just like sweet, but that one is just what? Like compare that to Death and Decay, which is 3 damage to all enemies.
For 3. Okay.
They just had to put a
Yeah.
low roll in, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they
think-
didn't have to, but yeah.
I think Arfis is good just because the Death Knight cards are so powerful.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right, now we got Prince Valinar.
No.
No, yeah, goodbye.
Nope.
And now we
Moving on.
got the biggest poppy, the last card, the king.
This is very strong.
Yeah. I like mine better, but of course
It is
I
very
would.
strong, though.
Yeah, it is very good. But he's sort of lame, considering how good he is good, but it's kind of boring. I wish he could do more.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about him, really.
Yeah, isn't that kind of sad that you don't really have much to say about Arthas?
It's very generic. If there was one card I wish they didn't do the vanilla first thing on.
Mhm.
Sindragosa, I didn't mind it, but here I kind of do mind.
Yeah.
This card should do something sweet. This is not sweet. This is incremental value.
Yeah, like for Value Town, like what is the Lich King? He's not Value Town.
Yeah, he's not value town at all. Yeah, no, actually, I actually, even though as a player I like this card,
Mm-hmm.
as a designer I think it's an abomination and embarrassing.
Yeah, it is really embarrassing that the Lich King is just like a incremental value. Oh, don't let him
Vanilla.
live 2 turns. You can draw 2 cards. Oh,
Like,
man.
and like just the fact that it's all about, or rather the fact that it's so not about, an amazing effect and all about an 8/8 for 8 with taunt.
Yeah.
This is literally Ironbark Protector at its core. A card so unexciting that no one even knew that's what it was called, actually.
Is this the tree taunt? Oh no!
Yeah,
you
just
can
the
play
big tree.
taunt, the big tree, and here we are, and what is it? This is not how civilization ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yup.
And this is how our stream ends.
Yup. Not with a bang, but with that. And on that
was-
note, we are out of here.
Yeah, I was really excited to see the Lich King. I hadn't really looked at him, and
Now you're not excited.
yeah, here I am looking down at the floor. On August 10th, he's gonna be released, and I don't even want to craft the Lich King.
8/8 for 8.
Woohoo!
Woo.
I mean, he'll probably see play just because he draws a card, but that's
Oh, he's really strong, but
yeah,
who
he's
cares?
really strong, but yeah,
I mean, we could have made him really strong by making it 8 mana 20/20.
yeah. In the same way.
Right.
Oh well. Well, thank you very much for watching. This has been 100% garbage reviews. My overall
Featuring.
impression, featuring.
What's our? How close were they to our name? I'd say
They were-
85%.
Yeah, they were. This has been really bad. I guess this is how they have to do the sets. Like it'll be the first set of the year will be pretty good. The middle one will be straight in the trash, 95% guard, and then the last one will be like middling or something.
No, I think the last one's gonna have all the winners.
Yeah,
'Cause
the last one.
that's the one. That's the one that'll always rotate out the soonest, so they don't have to worry.
Yeah. So this is worse than Mean Streets. It's got to be way worse than Mean Streets.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the worst sets ever. It's probably better than the Grand Tournament.
The Grand Tournament was a total abomination. So
Yeah, it's close though. It's really sad to put it on the same level as the Grand Tournament.
Yep, I agree.
I'm just sort of deflated and sad
I mean, it's
now.
actually funny though, because the Grand Tournament in the story is what happened before this,
Yeah.
and here we are. So
Oh,
it makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'm really sad. Well, thank you very much for watching. This will be, yeah.
we'll be back for the next Magic and Hearthstone reviews to bring
I-
you all the latest garbage.
Yeah, I please, if any designer ever watches this to the absolute bitter end, please stop doing this.
If any designer has watched this, even if you're not a designer on these games, then kudos to you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. Peace out.